fuck happened to my radio show?
We are live with the Raw review for December 14th, 2020. That's right, you guys are listening to the longest running Raw review ever in YouTube history. That's right, the longest live Raw review, the longest running live Raw review. The most consistent one, the longest running one ever. That is a fact. You can check it. It's unbelievable. If you can believe it, we have been running this Raw review since 2012. Consistently live every week. Unbelievable. Many have copied the title and the titles over the years. Many have said, you know what? He's doing something I like. I'm going to stop doing this review on fucking Halo or Bubble Bobble or whatever the fuck. And I'm going to talk about wrestling. That's what I'm going to do. Ba-boom. What's up, everybody? I fell asleep tonight during Raw. Gonna be honest. A lot of people wondered if it would happen, and it did happen. So, fuck Raw for making me fall asleep. Thank you.
It was going to work its best to try and lull you to sleep, that's for sure. They have this new Thunderdome, essentially set up, and they make it look like the exact same thing.
Right.
Why not utilize the Tropicana field?
No,
they just hit the rinse and repeat button.
Like I said, I said this when they said that they were doing this. Somebody said, "What's it going to look like?" And I said, "Well, the same thing, because they're being forced to move out. They didn't want to move. They wanted to stay there. But that place had to be booked or whatever the hell. So you knew what was going to happen. That Vince just just do the same thing there. They don't want to do anything different. They don't. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck that. Yeah, they could do a whole bunch of shit.
Echo, but I don't know. I didn't hear it on the stream.
What echo? What the fuck is what? I don't hear an echo.
I don't hear one.
Maybe there is one. You guys are listening. There's no echo, so
I'm good.
I don't know.
Oh, he's just, our special Dwelsh.
It's okay. He's probably retarded. He's listened to this enough. He's probably watched Raw, and now he's retarded.
That's what happened. Raw just ruined his brain. That's okay. I'd rather be told there's something wrong than
than not know about it. Yeah.
For not know, but
yeah,
I know they didn't want to move, and it's just unfortunate because you have this huge, baseball stadium that I liked what they did with the Royal Rumble this past year and how it was set up, and I figured there was maybe other options or things they could pull off, but it looks the exact same, and maybe that's what they're going for, but it's unfortunate that
no, that is what it's exactly it. They don't want to fucking move. They don't want to think about it. They're like, nope, just we built for this. We didn't build to play games or change things around.
Yeah, sadly. But there was just nothing to report on, nothing to talk about in the sense of like, oh, let's get this added before TLC. Everything's the same. You didn't have to see this episode at all. There was nothing that added towards the pay-per-view tonight. I felt like nothing that set up matches for the pay-per-view. I guess you could say Mandy Rose's comeback was kind of notable thing from tonight, but even that was pretty short. Badly delivered, short-lived. The whole thing was just a boring show. That's the sad part. It was just immensely boring. Even the Bray stuff I didn't care for, and I'm usually a big defender of his. I thought it was ridiculous. It didn't make sense at all, and even in the realm or universe that they set up for it. So
I just felt like they did things. Like they were like, all right, do things. Like we light thing on fire now, and
yeah,
I show up. We all kind of thought that too. Like, okay, he's gonna. I don't know. It's just very. I mean, that was the best thing in the show, I think, though. But it's like that's.
See, I have a hard time. Like, it made sense when they're out at a location and it's supposed to be like, but you got a camera guy standing there. Like that stuff always wraps your head around it. And I mean, that's wrestling as a whole, but. Like, oh, you're going to stand there while someone's getting murdered. Okay, those kind of things.
No, that doesn't bother me anymore at all because, like, I know, like you just said, it's kind of like, well, that's ridiculous anyway. But
yeah, I mean, the whole thing's supposed to be over the top and supposed to be silly, granted. But
I'm way more worried about other things. But I know what you're talking about.
I was way more perturbed by the fact of how they had Bray kind of get defeated by a rocking chair. And they want to portray Bray as the face in all of this. Alexa's still not there, so that's a huge detractor from this angle. That's 2 weeks in a row that we haven't had one of the main parts of this contributing at all. Yeah. And on that, I mean, the Orton stuff isn't overly interesting to begin with. They're just recapping old history instead of really adding anything new. So,
yeah, man, this is really just sort of like you said. It's a lot of wishy-washy stuff recapped. It was like they threw it all together, too, because this is the go home. This is the thing to go into TLC. And it was just I guess he tried to light him on fire. Bray tried to light his house on fire. So this is the least thing that I want to talk about tonight, I'll be honest, because to me, at least it kind of makes sense. It's like it's underwhelming and it's not the best thing. But, it's better than I still think. I don't know. Was there something better than this tonight? I don't know. Maybe there was. I was asleep for 40 minutes of the show. So
there wasn't even a standout match tonight.
Right. So, like, that was at least the best thing. But it's like, okay, I don't know. We're going to the pay-per-view. That was it, man. We saw a box lit on fire and then the Fiend attacked somebody. And, yeah, Alexa Bliss has been one of the most interesting things about the character, and she's not there. It's like dead.
Not been there at all.
Dead on arrival.
At least they should have pre-taped something with her if she wasn't going to be there. They could have, done something better. Yeah, the whole thing just, it felt underwhelming entirely, and that's a common theme with WWE. Nothing ever, feels like it can deliver on the hype.
She should have done the 12 Days of Christmas with like things that the Fiend gave her. I don't know.
Look how simple that is. You came up with that in 3 seconds. We haven't even delved into the details of it, and already it's miles ahead of what we get here.
Right.
Orton's a pyromaniac that's obsessed with fire.
Yeah, he wants to light everything on fire. I mean, listen, who doesn't? At this point, I want to light it all on fire at this point. Like, please, let's set everything on fire and light it up. Here comes Shane McMahon, everybody. Inject a little excitement into this show tonight.
I'd kick how anyone can defend Raw tonight. I didn't see anything even worth saying something positive about at all.
No.
Raw is dead. Even the Fiend sucks now.
I agree. Sam Skyrider, thanks for the $13. There's nothing to go on.
He's given us a little bit of injection of Christmas spirit, but yeah, I even the addition of Miz and Morrison, I feel like detracts and takes away from AJ Styles and the overall feel of that championship match. Their antics, their buffoonery, and being involved with that, even though he has the briefcase, I feel like still some way, shape, or form, it takes away from AJ. It made him look less serious in the end because he needs Miz and Morrison, who were already destroyed multiple times, by.
Well, because this isn't, we're not getting AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. We're getting the new AJ Styles, the one who doesn't want to be champion.
Yeah.
The Vince McMahon, the comedy AJ Styles, who really doesn't want to be champion anymore. And I mean, for real. Like, AJ didn't want the belt anymore. They took it off him. That's the AJ Styles we're getting now. And so this is just a simple, like, the deck is stacked against Drew. Oh, my God, the deck is stacked against him. He got it beat up tonight. He's clearly, not only is he clearly going to win on TLC, but they've even given away that he's winning already. So
yeah, because of the Stone Cold podcast and the way they advertise that. Of course, they're
stupid.
How many times have we seen them do this where they spoil their results time and time again?
They tweeted out their own fucking results if anybody had a brain and saw it. Like, I mean, obviously I can tell that Drew's winning anyway with what's going on tonight, with what now, I mean, you could throw a curveball though and say, well, it's so obvious that the Miz and them are getting involved that the Miz cashing in actually might be a little bit of a surprise in a way, because I wouldn't be surprised if they teased the cash in, but then he didn't cash in. But I would be surprised if he actually did cash in.
Yeah,
so,
I don't expect him to cash in yet.
Right, and nobody does really. But we do expect that they will pretend like he's going to.
Yes.
So that's the thing is, well, then if you did do it, it kind of would be shocking. So
and the funny part is, I didn't hate the opening to the show either. I didn't. That didn't bother me. Like I figured some people probably hated it.
But hold on, Tommy. Hold on a second. Jake's talking. Come on.
He's always chiming in.
Hello, folks. You freaking.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Whatever. Go call your parents.
Thanks
everybody.
for the input, Tommy.
Everybody call your parents. Oh.
Sounds like you breaking a glass the other night.
I know, right? I broke a really good one too. I'm really upset about that. But what do you do?
It's terrible. I heard it. It was like,
I broke a good one. It was a good one. It was one of Leah's.
That's always how it works too. It's always the good glass.
Yeah, well, fuck her anyway.
Yeah, I didn't hate the opening to this Raw. I don't know how you felt about it, but I actually got a little bit of a chuckle out of them, trying to act a little bit and do their, Nightmare Before TLC. It was a little creative.
No,
it was in the spirit of Christmas. As silly and cheesy as it was, they delivered it well, so I didn't hate it. And Sheamus getting involved leading to a match, I was like, okay. The only thing that really ruined it for me is why didn't they have Drew come out and defend Sheamus after the, with everything that happened with the chair shots and hanging him by his left leg, and beating him repeatedly. I don't understand why they said that, Drew shouldn't have saved him. It was just weird. I know they had some excuse after the fact, but it just made no sense.
I thought I don't know, man. You know what it is right now the problem is WWE is so cartoony and goofy that when they act cartoony and goofy or PG or whatever you want to call it, it's that much worse. Like, so the Miz sitting there reading a little storybook like he did, like, how pathetic was that? And I was thinking that. I was like, man, this is for kids, man. This is for, why are we watching this? But it's like, I want to watch it, but I please change how this show is. Like, and then somebody tweeted, it might have been Diva Bible, the 1997 Raw from this date. And it was the Stone Cold Steve Austin with the IC belt waiting to throw it in the fucking river. I think that was in New York, maybe somebody knows out there, but you think Alexa knows? That'd be funny if she knew.
That would be funny.
Alexa, where did Monday Night Raw from December 14th to 1997 take place? I fucked that up too much.
Here's something I found on the web.
She's going to know.
According to hatnote.com,
Wow.
it took place on January 29th, 2017 at the Alamo Dome.
She's talking about the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. That's San Antonio. So I don't know what Alexa just heard me say, but whatever it was, it took place in the Alamo Dome. Alexa, where did Monday Night Raw take place on December 14th, 1997?
I don't
No, she don't know. She's like, I don't know that. I could just Google it easily, but yeah, she don't know that. She's like, fuck you, I don't know that shit. I think it's New York or Massachusetts.
Well, that's because it happened December 15th, it says.
Oh, really? Okay.
Today's the 14th, so that they were comparing the days.
All right. It's either Worcester
And-
or New York. I can't remember which one, but I swear to God it was one of those two. I could be wrong. I didn't look it up.
If this is right, Durham, New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. That makes sense. Okay, so there you go. See, it was somewhere in the Northeast, because I knew it was, for a reason I had it in my memory, that it was like local or something like that. So it was either New York, I thought, or Worcester. But if it's New Hampshire, that's sort of. I'm almost correct, but not really. Durham, New Hampshire. Where the fuck were they in Durham, New Hampshire? You serious?
Yeah, it says that it took place on December 9th, 1997, and aired December 15th, 97.
That was the thing I wrote on Twitter, too. I said, how funny is it, too, because that's a taped episode. I do remember it being a taped episode, because I read some of the spoilers, I think, or something. There was a reason why, even back then, I knew it was taped. And it might have been reading through some of the news and the spoiler rumors and things like that.
Yeah.
I assume that's what it is. What up, Shell? What up, Awandi? What up, Jimmy? Firebird? How you doing, bro?
Usually, if it was any other week, I think I would be with you, but I'm the opposite of you for this introduction to Raw. I didn't hate this. I think had it not been the Christmas season and knowing that next week is actually Christmas week, so it felt like he's reading Night Before Christmas. That's what it's supposed to be. The rhymes, that's the parody of all this. So it didn't bother me. If you had Miz reading nursery rhymes and it was March 10th and it didn't fit, it wasn't for a holiday theme type idea, I would hate that.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how it would have worked for me. If either it had been funny or they hadn't been like in the ring, like AJ was in the ring, like a nativity scene or something. That was like the point, I guess.
I guess I took it as AJ being willing because it was gloating about him so much that he was like, of course I'll act in this because it's praising me the entire time. And then the Miz underhanded him by praising himself really at the end, saying, well, if you can't get it done, I'll do it myself. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of so I liked that they kept true to their characters. Now, I get it was silly and childish, but it was kind of in the theme of Christmas. And if you noticed in Thunderdome tonight, a lot of kids shown too this time, more than I've noticed before. There was a lot of
in honor of Pat Patterson, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be showing only 13-year-old boys in the crowd. Thanks, everybody.
It's Pat's ghost.
I got to be honest. I gave the AEW trailer for the 24 Hours of Christmas story. I gave that a slightly better rating than Raw tonight. I will tell you right now.
Yeah, I believe it. That
better.
Was funny too. So
slightly better.
MJF is another one that's good at that character type.
Well, right
stuff.
here, Jericho has a boner. That's why, that's what's going on there. But yeah,
that's exactly it.
Yeah,
He's not surprised.
If they had wrote it better, if it had been funnier, I would have been down for what they did. Like if you're gonna do the Christmas reading story from a rocking chair and all this other stuff, it has to be like really good, like really, like either adult or really well written, like something like that, And I don't know what would have made it funny. I think one thing that could have, and now I don't know if this might have made it worse, but like I'm just brainstorming. I'm not a WWE writer, but I'm just brainstorming. It might have been funny if they had all the reindeer and Santa and like all the WWE like lower level idiots were dressed up as the reindeer, like, and they were like in Speedos, and they all had like little noses on them, and they were and then somebody was whipping them. I don't know, like I'm trying to think like. And, like, they were all yelling and complaining, and one of them was like, I didn't know there was going to, like, R-Truth goes, I didn't know there was going to be a whip. Like, stuff like that. And then, like, he just whips them again. And he's like, Dancer, shut up. Like, that type of shit. And then he's just whipping all of the reindeer. And they could have been NXT people. They could have been whatever the fuck. Anyway, I don't know. I'm drifting in. Listen, I'm a little bit like Vince McMahon. I have a weird sense of weird shit. Like, this is something I feel like Vince would like this. But anyway, that be that as it may.
You would have liked the BTE moment today because there's still the Dark Order wants Hangman to join them desperately. So they had a cowboy themed party.
Yeah. And
they had it set up where you can ride 10. Oh. You wore a horse head mask, and you can get a horse ride from 10.
I'll have to check it out. I gotta start reviewing. I gotta start reviewing BTE again.
It's worth checking out some of the times.
You know what? I'm gonna review BTE and then I'm gonna review NXT, and I'm gonna see what does better, my reviews of BTE or NXT.
I bet you BTE would be over NXT. Sadly.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't doubt it, but yeah, I didn't love this by any means for an intro, but I didn't hate it. The thing I found most peculiar was the fact that. Where's Drew? Why is he not out there? Who's fighting Sunday? AJ and Drew. So why are you, so heavily focused on Sheamus without Drew here? I know they're friends and that's what you're pushing too. So we'll get the eventual turn, but it made no sense for him not to be there to support his friend or at least come out for the save. And especially that, he's the focal point of all of this happening on Sunday. So
let me ask you this. Is Lana not competing now?
I guess they're going with the injury angle, and it seems like they're going to have Mandy Rose replace Lana's part, or they'll have Dana and Mandy go in the tag title match now.
Why in the fuck did they have this giant story with Lana?
To get more sympathy for Lana, they had her be injured tonight after winning. They think that because she won fair and square, she got a victory over Nia. She should have just ran away at that point, but she's a total dumbass. And my God, that was a terrible moment, segment, match, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God,
dude, Lana is awful. This fucking did I beat her? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's 2 minutes. We'll never get back.
I got to be careful. I can't yell. I can't yell because I don't know what's wrong with my voice. Still, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Still got to get you checked out, but
yeah, I don't know if it's my vocal cords. I don't know if it's what's going on, but I do know that when I start yelling and getting angrier, that I start running out of steam, and it feels like I'm blowing air. It feels like I'm talking air, and it doesn't work. So I do think it's something with my vocal cords, but
it wasn't even like an impressive victory. I don't understand the way they set it up really, because she goes to drop her for the Samoan drop, and then Lana gets out of it, and she hits her with a kick, and she kind of gets caught up in the ropes quick, and then she barely stomps on her, and that's it. That's a 3 count. It was so bizarre of an ending. You figured, Lana really had no chance. So for her to pin her without any outside interference or anything, no, so she didn't trip and hit herself on the stairs. She didn't whoop her own ass. There was none of that. She just was able to beat her in less than 2 minutes. Was baffling. I have no idea why they decided to get Lana clean over Nia here, and then on top of it, have Nia injure her afterwards. All right, that makes sense, but why wouldn't Lana get the hell out of there, move away? She's mad. None of it makes sense. The selling was awful for the after attack. I hate this entire segment, and it now makes no sense. They put even more heat on the heels that already had a ton of heat, didn't need more of it. I guess the only good thing now is that Lana doesn't become the women's tag, team champion with Asuka.
Yeah,
that's like the one positive takeaway is Lana doesn't get the belt.
Right. Thank you, I guess, but what the hell were they doing this whole time with her? I don't understand.
Yeah, like you said, what was the point of putting her through the tables, almost a damn near dozen times? And what was the point of having her win these 2 matches against Shayna Baszler and now Nia Jax? And for what? For her to be attacked and left crying again?
Yeah, I don't know. In the end, I feel like this is going to be, we're going to look back on this storyline or whatever it is, and we're just going to be like, wow, that was so much nothing, but it went on so long and for no real reason at all. And yeah, I don't think it's throat cancer because sports fan, I don't think it's throat cancer. It could be. Maybe I'll die. But one thing I do think it is something the vocal cords, because I read a lot about this, that some of the early signs or some of the symptoms are having shortness of breath or feeling like you can't breathe too well and things like that. And that's actually been going on with me for almost a year now. And,
yeah, you've had that for a while.
Yeah. So if that's true, those were early signs that something in my vocal cords was weak. And I've been hurting it. And so I think that it could be what it is. But I don't know. We'll probably go get looked at soon, if especially if I stay weak like I am with my voice. It's very strange. Very strange to have to sort of talk that way. And then it would also explains all the like, oh, I don't feel like I can catch my breath right. Well, that's what I guess when you get the nodes in your vocal cords or whatever, it actually acts like that. So that would make sense why when I've been checked, they're like, you sound fine. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So that would make sense and answer all the questions, really, that we've been wondering about. Oh, is there mold in the room, or is there this in the room? We don't know what's going on. When it's really just this sort of shortness feeling because of the vocal. Anyway, whatever the fuck. I have no idea. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm dying. I don't know. But
Could be COVID.
If he dies, he dies. Yeah, I've had COVID for a year then, if that's the case.
That's exactly, you've had it for this whole time. You're the longest running case. We just didn't realize
I'm the repeating reinfected case of I've reinfected 6 times now.
You're the original super spreader.
Did you see the COVID roll in with the Goldberg theme?
No.
On Twitter, people put the COVID vaccine is arriving in, I don't know if it's the U.S. or Massachusetts, but it's arriving. And there's 7 people carrying the boxes and the surrounding the guy carrying the big box or whatever. And somebody put put the Goldberg theme to it. It's great. Fucking hilarious. It's pretty funny. Unless of course you're skeptical of the vaccine, and then you probably could have put the No Chance in Hell Vince McMahon theme instead. I said
and
that.
The Windows, startup noise as well. Throw that in there just for the Gates reference.
Yeah, for anybody, I said that to Leah. I'm like, they should put the Vince No Chance in Hell theme in there for the people that don't want to get it.
I will say I was wrong when I started before, because I was soured on the fact of the Sheamus match just because I was so upset with the after beatdown angle not making sense, with Drew not at least attempting to make the save. And still the complaint I've had for weeks with AJ's bodyguard almost here, they just don't do anything with him at all. They just do not utilize this man properly. He should be a true threat to these people. And that's not the case. And instead, he's that comedy relief that Vince is dying for. I don't know why they have him in such a role, but it's infuriating. The thing is, though, I as much as I was soured about the end of this match, I did like AJ and Sheamus. They put on a good match. When he had him locked in the calf crusher, Sheamus was selling quite well, and eventually made his way to the ropes, but he continued to sell that leg injury.
He's an idiot. I didn't think it was good at all. I thought the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you think he was an idiot for that?
Because he literally couldn't fucking walk on his leg. And then Sheamus decided to lift up AJ Styles and put him on his back and then climb up the ropes. No fucking person who just hurt their leg that bad, who's dragging their leg across the canvas and limping everywhere. Then the next thing he decides to do is, I'm going to put this man on my back and then go to climb the ropes. I was literally laughing.
This is towards the end. So you already got through when you got out of the Styles Clash and got him with the white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't care for, but I kind of got the psychology of it, because he already hit him with the white noise. He wasn't able to put him away, so he was desperate in that situation. He was like, "What can I do?"
But you know what?
Out? So he was kind of like, "Leg be damned! I'm going to get him up to the ropes, and I'm going to take him down." And then his leg, screwed him, and that's what cost him the match.
Exactly, but you know what the commentary didn't do?
They didn't sell that at all.
Say any of that. Exactly. Any of that. Any of that.
That's what
None
I was
of it.
getting towards.
Fucking idiot commentary. You suck. Sheamus makes a huge mistake. Well, he was desperate. He tried the white noise earlier. It didn't work. He felt he had to go take him to the top rope and put a little something extra on it, but it ended up being a huge mistake for Sheamus. Instead, they say nothing about that. It's just, he lost. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why would you, wouldn't you say something, about this? Or the commentary has no idea about the story or what. I don't know if they're being told not to say things or they're just that bad. I don't know either one. It could be either one. I don't know. But I know it's stupid and it doesn't make sense. And I know that
they just don't add anything when they need to, and they take away from things when they shouldn't. And I figured Samoa Joe, having in-ring experience, that he's really good on commentary at times. I don't know if he's just overly shackled or just not allowed to speak, as he wants to, but it has to be that, because there's times where we get these glimpses of like, a perfect commentary team, and then that's so few far in between to when we actually, get delivered on Raw. They just, it's earworms at this point. It just gets buried in there, and then it just burrows into your brain and ruins the show.
It bros in your brain, bro. Does it bro in your brain?
Yeah, I didn't like his outfit, and I wasn't a big fan of his promo either, the Mr. Gentleman promo.
Right.
Type. Allow me to introduce myself. Are you going to fuck the guy?
I mean, you gonna fuck the guy. I mean,
I eat our own shitty in Philly with gritty. Yo, this whole city with gritty. Yo, we might eat our own shitty. Yeah, eat our own shitty. In the city of Philly, we eat shitty. We're gritty as can be. We can survive off our motherfucking own feces. In Philly, we're gritty. In Philly, we're gritty. This whole city, we'll eat our own shitty. In Philly. That's why our mascot looks like a...
Raw literally put me to sleep. This show was fucking terrible. I fell asleep of Dana Brooke flexing like fucking jacked up muscled mongoose whore. To waking up to seeing Maris's unbelievable tits and Miz being denied sex and say bye-bye boner on Miz and Mrs.
JDVenom, I gotta be honest, man, I hate the Miz and Mrs. I don't really like the show. It's better than Raw. I mean... So what are we going to say about that? JDVenom with the Ocho. Thank you, man. And listen, shout out to Six. He is the king this week of Monetize This and the Joe Cronin Show. Shout out to Six. He is our king. Bow down to him in the chat. JDVenom, thank you. I agree. And, man, I'll tell you, this was disappointing tonight. How about Maria Kanellis, though? If you guys want to go on Instagram, you can see her showing her pussy and ass off and writing mom underneath it all the time. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into a woman who posts their belly, their titties, and their assholes,
or if you're doing yoga, you can be naked on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you want to see a woman who wants to show you their body and write mommy on their post, Maria Bennett,
you get posts, and videos taken down off YouTube for only saying certain things, never mind even, showing anything visually. And you can have females completely, or males for that instance, completely nude on here, because it's naked yoga is educational.
I'll show you
because
something.
You need to be naked to show how your asshole stretches.
Ugh, what the fuck?
That's what you're supposed to get at, It's just,
I don't know what you, I mean, this, that's...
It's baffling.
What?
Well, how
Call
could
your
YouTube
mother,
allow
call
that
your
stuff?
father.
How could you what?
How could YouTube allow that stuff?
Well, it's on Instagram, not YouTube.
Well, no, but I'm saying YouTube allows, full nude yoga.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
monetized.
Makes no sense.
So now girls from OnlyFans have come over in flocks and started uploading educational, just to advertise more for OnlyFans. But it's funny. So, hey.
Yeah, I mean, because
do your hustle. If it's allowed,
you
can't hate them for it.
The site makes no sense. That's the answer.
Exactly.
It's all bullshit. That's the answer, too. Just like the country. Our country's all bullshit.
Call your mother, call your father, and tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
Oh,
God.
Why would I want to tell my mother or my father that my wife needs a cleaning
Call
out?
your mother, call your father, and tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
Call your mother, call your father, and tell them
go fuck yourself. Oh, that's funny shit. One more coming in. Here we go. Shit bum. Shell.
Fuck that Raw 3 hours he'll never get back. LOL.
Yeah, I mean, really should just watch the Ravens game. Should just watch Baltimore's game.
Everyone says it's a damn good game. So
it is a good game, man.
Back and forth and 2-point conversion, and holy hell.
This shit's crazy. This beat the fuck out of Raw.
It seems like
this football game pounded Raw's asshole in.
The big headline that was trending and everything, Lana injured. Heartbreaking to see after the biggest win of her career. So imagine beating Nia Jax is the biggest claim you have to your wrestling career.
But you got hurt.
and then being injured afterwards. It does say that she's got a friend in the
bit of the
department.
bubbly.
That's it. That's
Want
it.
some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Hey Dwelsh, I heard Amanda has chlamydia. Hope you washed her STD. Come off your dick, cause her pussy blowing smoke signals, you dumb bastard.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Wow, that was.
You think that's true?
I don't know.
Chlamydia.
Might be.
A man has got chlamydia? I mean, are you serious, AJ Adams? What the fuck?
No one wants chlamydia. That's
What a
the friend that keeps.
Oh
on
my
giving.
God, dude! Only whores get chlamydia. There's no way that's real. That's a fake thing. It can't be real. I'm gonna say that's fake. Come on. I mean that's
hope.
Come on, that's
for all their sakes.
That's disgusting.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking horny.
Hey,
Oh my God,
hey,
I'm
speaking
so
of
fucking
chlamydia.
horny. Oh my God, I'm so fucking horny. Happy fucking birthday. Oh my God, so fucking horny. Oh my God, so horny. Oh my God, so horny. Happy birthday. Oh, honey, honey, honey. Donation, time. Put it in my round bum.
Tonight's Raw I give a 3/10 definition. It's the cock that is small, tiny and hairy. It's the cock that your girl rubs and instantly ejaculates 4 droplets. The cock that put Korean porn star Sun Yun Puck's 3-incher to shame. It's the cock that is...
Wow. It's
That
the
has
cock
herpes
that
and AIDS.
has herpes and AIDS. Oh my God.
Father. And tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
Cockmeister. Dude, Jake, that was from Cockmeister.
The one, the only. We haven't heard from Cockmeister in a while.
Cockmeister.
Thank you, Cockmeister. I was busy all day, Cockmeister, filling out applications and I did a job interview today, and I actually referred to myself as Joe Cronin by accident. And then they said, well, who's Joe? And then I said, oh. And then I I got frozen in my... And I went, that's my middle name. Sometimes people call me that. I don't know. And they were like, oh, okay. But but it was really awkward. Because I didn't know. I actually got stuck. I don't usually get stuck on things. So now these people, I'm like, these people think that I don't know who I am.
They're just like, he's all right. He's got a few extra names, As long as they don't search you, you're good.
Oh my God, dude. It was so weird. I had no answer for it. I was like, well, it's my middle name. Sometimes people call me that, and I just, that's funny. Just call me Dan. Call me by my real name. And they're like, oh, okay. But it was the thing that was bad was the pause of me trying to figure it out, what I just did.
Yeah, what do I say?
Yeah, are you fucking, are you trying to be somebody else? Yep.
It's one of my 7 names. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, I have a lot of names, and one of them, if you just don't look me up, because if you look me up, you'll find out that I went to jail for rape a long time ago. Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah, it was a small charge.
MJF sat on Santa's lap. I mean, there's other stuff to talk about here, and I can't remember what it was now. But maybe as we continue to go through it,
it was Triple H that didn't want to give up the main event match at WrestleMania that year when The Rock took on Triple H. Rock took on, Hulk Hogan.
Is this on Raw tonight?
No, this is one of the news stories.
Did we get all of Raw already?
No. Do you care?
Oh, well, I mean, but there was some more shit. There was something really to roast tonight. I can't remember what it was.
To me, I was so just...
maybe, I don't know, man. I can't remember either, so might as well talk about that, I guess. But there was something else I wanted to roast.
The story you were saying, but
anybody in the chat wants to roast something or make fun of Raw, say it, and maybe I'll see it and I'll think that's what I wanted to make fun of. But
I mean, we had that horrific, god-awful pre-match promo from both sides, and I hated it from the Hurt Business and from the New Day.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What you wanted to roast?
4 people who did trials for vaccine got Bell's palsy.
Yeah, that's all. That was from a couple days ago. What's up, Corwin Eberly? Yeah, 4 people got Bell's palsy, and JR said something about that. I hope that doesn't happen. And then somebody people started shitting on JR, and then JR was like, "Well, fuck you," Yeah, I don't know what it means. I don't know how many people were tested. I don't know if out of 10,000 people, 4 people got it. And they said that these people may have been they got that anyway. I don't know. Like I don't know what to believe anymore. There's so much misinformation now that I hope everybody dies. Like I don't know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Only thing
it seems suspicious though.
You're not allowed to have dairy in front of the Hurt Business. They get very upset.
Explain this. Fucking Bobby Lashley. He poured that shit all over him, but it got all over his suit.
Exactly. It covered him in the process. So what's so funny about getting milk all over yourself?
You just fucked up your own suit, you douchebag idiot.
And because of the way, obviously, airflow and the nozzle being so small, that milk drip came out forever. It took so long to pour that entire carton. It just felt like it just kept pouring and pouring. At one point, I actually looked up and it just still coming out.
I thought they were adding the noise of the thing at one point. Like it was weird, and I was like, "No, that's just splattering over the floor so much."
Yep, it's just going everywhere because he's eating a bro nut, and he offered them one.
I'll tell you what,
all natural.
Well, going back to Corwin's donation, by the way, I'll tell you what. If I end up getting the vaccination at some point, and I get Bell's palsy, we all know I'm 36. I should never be getting this. So if I get Bell's palsy from the vaccine, I will make it my life's mission to be on YouTube every day live, going like this. They took my fucking life away from me, and I'll just fucking I'll rant and rave with half of my
Constantly.
face. Yeah, I'll even change the name of my channel. It won't even be Joe Cronin Show anymore. I'll change the name of my fucking channel to fucking Mongoloid Face Thank You Fauci or something like that, or like Fauci's Mongoloid channel, or fucking PF Pfizer's fucking results, like or something like that, or the happiest PF Pfizer customer, or PF Pfizer fucking advocate, or something like something sarcastic. And every fucking day I'll remind them of what the fuck they fucking did. I swear to God. If I get it. If it happens to me. And I recommend anybody that gets it do that.
just constantly go live and just show yourself off the whole time.
Oh,
document your case.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. Who you calling Pinhead? I almost fucking... The minute Raw opened up and I saw that book in the chair and I went, oh my God, here we go. Here we go. It's a fucking children's show. And, AEW could do the same thing and I wouldn't feel the same way. Because it would be done with...
Because of how that all goes by how it's directed.
You're right.
You can tell who they're, dictating their audience to who they want it to be. They're obviously going for a younger demographic with the main roster shows, Raw and SmackDown. They want children, and they're seeking after less the older crowd, it seems. AEW wants that 18 to 34 demo in the worst way. Makes sense, but I don't know. It kills everything in the process. And WWE has always had some type of, maybe not always family friendly, but family mindset. Yeah, they lost the family friendly aspect of it, but you could still be PG and not be corny and cringy. So.
Oh yeah, we've seen it. We've seen AEW. We've actually seen AEW be kind of cringy a little bit while still being PG. Actually, like if you went and looked at the segment, that segment could have been on Raw. I think think of it all the time. Just take any AEW segment, and there are some segments where you could literally put the exact segment on Raw, or there's some segments where you could put it on Raw if you just eliminated one or two words. And to be honest, it's still better. So it's like they're still doing a better job. So it's not just it doesn't even have to do with being not PG. It has to do with being creative enough and not treating the audience like asshole idiots, infants. Play up to the audience instead of playing down. Play up to the audience, play to the older people. But the younger crowd will be able to get it too, or they won't get it, but they'll like it anyway because they're younger. But if you play to most things as just being for younger people, the older crowd usually doesn't follow along. In fact, I remember back in 1995, in 94, being at wrestling shows or watching wrestling on TV, And I remember thinking as a kid that I was surprised that adults were watching this. Like when I found out my cousin was watching wrestling, he was he's 10 years older than me. Maybe 12 years older than me now that I think about it. 10 years, I think. I think it's 10 years. 10 or 12 years. Fuck it. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, he would tape the shows for me. Yeah, I think it's 12 years. He would tape the shows for me sometimes and give me the tape. And I'd always be amazed that he watched wrestling. And I was always amazed, when people said they were wrestling fans that were older. Because I, as a kid, even thought it was a kid's type of show. Like, as a kid. I wasn't outright saying it was fake or it was rigged or whatever, but there was a part of me that knew it was, because like when I would wrestle around the house and stuff, it's like I would throw the fake punches they threw, and it was like I knew how to do that, and I knew that they were doing that, so I knew that it wasn't. I knew it. You just knew it. I just knew it wasn't legit. It wasn't. They were acting. But it's like I didn't really think about it. I just thought I thought it was real, and I got mad about things, and I cried about things, and I cheered about things.
You get emotional.
Yeah, and then it, especially in the Attitude Era, then you pretty much knew. But then in the Attitude Era, you thought, as a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old that I would think like, oh, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen though. They had such disbelief that you thought to yourself, well, maybe that wasn't supposed to happen though. That this is getting crazy. It's like you actually said that. And I know older people that said that too. People that were 18 said that. So it's like there's a believability factor that there just isn't, they don't even have now. But sometimes AEW still has that, So it's like, that it can still happen because you still feel it and you still see it. And you see it in movies. That's all you need to know. If anybody ever goes, nah, dude, no one's ever going to get into wrestling again. Bullshit. I see people cry in movie theaters over movies. They know the movie's they know it's all actors.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's how they make you feel. That's why it's art. It's acting. People cry when they read a book. They cry when they watch a TV show. They cry when they just hear a certain story. Like you can do that to people. A song. It all can do it to people if you actually... Can you imagine crying over Raw ever, like at this point, or anything like that? It's not even close.
No, not over this point.
I cry because... Yeah,
absolutely.
We cry because we watch it, but like in the Raw, not the way that you think.
Yeah, exactly. Different type of tears.
These are... Oh my God, like I could have been...
They're painful tears now, Joe.
I could have been sleeping tears. Instead I'm watching this shit. God, is it horribly painful.
I mean, you were talking about it earlier today in your video on the channel, which if people didn't see, they still check out. But you were breaking down about how you felt with Keith Lee and other people being told that they were allegedly being sent back to the Performance Center for training. And what it sounds like is that, whether these people can wrestle 5-star matches or not isn't the issue. And you had kind of made mention of this as well, that it seems more that Vince wants them to be doing a certain thing, a certain way, a certain style, and that's not what we're getting from them. And if you noticed, Keith Lee's match tonight looked a little bit different with The Miz and Morrison when they did have that pretty crappy match.
Yeah.
You saw elements of him being less agile and more him playing the big man role, because usually for a big guy, he does kind of more light-footed type things. You see him almost float around the ring at times. He moves very agile, but we didn't see that. He seemed a bit more heavier, and he was able to, like throwing people around, but just more of that giant offense.
He didn't talk with the Mr. Nice Guy either. Backstage, he was like, yeah, we'll see about that. And instead of being like, well, maybe we'll see what happened. He didn't do any of that.
Yeah, he just kind of came forward and threatened both of them and then walked away. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So it was a new side of Keith Lee.
It definitely was different. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think I care for it much, but it was different than what we've gotten previously on Raw. I still wish we could get back to where we were on NXT with him. But
what they need to do is make the guys just be like, I don't know, like he's a fun time, and then he goes out there and beats the shit out of people, and he's a big bad kind of dude. That's what I see him as, but instead it's, hey, I think that, salutations to you. Like, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who the fuck is this? It don't. And then the look again, the look of the guy. I don't know. He used to look like a man. He used to look like a dad, like an MMA fighter who is a dad or something like that, who was tough. With the shaved face, he looks like I don't know, man. He looks like he's part of a cartoon cast or something. I can't explain it, but on the he just doesn't look serious.
It just doesn't fit.
Like, I was talking about him earlier this morning. I put out a video, 16 minutes long, if anybody saw it. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. He's got the baby face that he has. When he had the beard, he kind of looked more like a badass too. Like, I mean, right here, man, this guy looks like a dude. Like, this guy looks like a real fucking guy who means business, right here. But when you take away that fucking little goatee thing he's got there, the little bit of hair there, and you put him in a fucking wrestling outfit or a singlet, I mean, and then I don't know, bro. It just don't, like, this looks like a guy, he's wrestling. People are wrestling to his style kind of in the matches a lot of times. Now he's sort of wrestling to the WWE style, which is what they want, which is probably why they sent him down to the PC, which is, again, goes into my conversation from this morning, is like, maybe it's a good thing he went to the PC, because that means that Vince cares about him so much. He wants him. He has an idea for him. But, I don't think so, because Vince is stupid as fuck right now, and so isn't Bruce Pritchard. So, same thing with Otis. But in NXT, it's like, this guy looked like, that was Keith Lee, baby. Here he comes. But now he looks like fucking Keith fucking boring, or Keith fucking goofy.
Yeah, he's just lacking that bit of personality that made him unique before. And I don't know, he feels bland. He doesn't feel special.
Definitely feels bland.
None of them do. They everything tonight pretty much, on the whole, felt bland, sadly.
Yeah, everything felt just bland, boring, run of the mill. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder maybe if, like, Raw and me, I'm getting to the point where I think maybe I should do a Raw, like how I would have booked Raw show. Because
that would be a great idea.
It's at the
point. I
point
messaged you earlier, seeing if you were doing the live watch along. I know we had mentioned that at one point too. Try that, because
you know what? It's too boring to even do the watch along. It's just too boring.
Sadly, that's why even SmackDown feels better, just because of the 1 hour difference. That third hour really does hurt the show.
Well,
even with the crash style booking that AEW has at times, it works because of the time refrain. So I genuinely just wish they would go back to that 2 hour format. I think that would fix so much.
What else we got? Oh,
I think
a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, I agree.
It won't happen because of advertising.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Hey crackers, I have Nicole Simpson's severed head in my fridge. I've been fucking the
Oh.
white bitch's mouth all day with my 10-inch black anaconda dingus.
Oh my
Ooh.
God. Oh my God, AJ Adams. I took Nicole's head. I took that white motherfucking bitch and I smack her asshole. I kill a white bitch and I got away with it. Joe, I'll kill you and your whole family for Christmas. Cracker ass honky motherfucker. Follow me on Twitter. OJ Simpson, motherfucker. Fucking OJ Simpson, man. He really don't give a shit. AJ Adams, thanks for the $3. AJ Adams. AJ Adams hates whites. But you got to respect him. You got to respect him for it, though. You really do. Thank you, AJ Adams. Hate, motherfucker. Hate the honkies.
I'm trying. Oh, so we started to talk about. Yeah, we mentioned how they completely bashed that nerdy guy by dumping milk all over him, and obviously Bobby Lashley got himself covered in the process, so they looked foolish. And then the Hardys, as I want to call them now, the retarded Hardy Boys in the team of Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy. So Matt and Jeff still together. Good old Bro Nuts team up with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and the the very start of it, I started to chuckle with the G4 mention. They got to get that in constantly, with WWE. But that one line was funny. It's like, oh, we're not going to bring back, the quiz show. All right, that was funny. But the rest of it was just god awful. And this tag team's not working. The combination of them two, the New Day without, Big E is another miss as well. So I mean, there's just so many things that.
Dude, that whole you brought it up
failed
earlier.
Them here, yeah.
That whole backstage segment. Oh my god, dude, Matt Riddle is a fucking idiot.
He seems just absolutely retarded. And, oh, Broy is in your corner. Hey,
how about the New Day?
I want to break my television. That's not a good feeling.
How about Kofi when he said his line or whatever he said when he was like, "Oh yeah, just what we need" or whatever. It was like they were making fun of him.
Kind of felt that way.
I mean, Kofi's line was a totally red line, like that was he was supposed to say that exact line.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the Hardy Boys; it'd be the Retardy Boys. Yeah,
the Retardy Boys. Yeah, Raw Tarded on Mondays and SmackDowns on fucking Fridays. My T-shirt's still available, by the way. Haven't been pulled. Raw Tarded SmackDowns. Get them on Teespring.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The match didn't deliver either, and they gave them a ton of time here. Usually, it's the fact that they don't have a lot of time. This one went on for damn near 20 minutes, and it just was a boring match. Nothing I can even really recall here. It's like, oh, Hardy gets the twist of fate, and then Lashley gets in, and everybody leaves the ring, and it's like, okay, that's kind of just more boring. And then the Hurt Lock for the win again. It's predictable and it's tedious, and it's just the same thing every single week. It feels like with the Hurt business, and usually it's been the same opponents time and time again. If it's not Retribution, it's going to be the New Day. If it wasn't the New Day, it was the Street Profits, and that's it. Just goes in circles here.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Big turf warfare thing in circles of nothing. Listen, TLC sucks anyway. It's just like Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules sucks. TLC sucks. And that's what we got coming up, so who cares? AJ Styles is going to lose.
We talked about Keith Lee's match. That was after that mess. Oh, R-Truth comes out to interrupt Elias. He says, I'm apologizing for interrupting, even though he's interrupting again. And then he says he won't interrupt, but obviously he's there to interrupt, and everyone comes out 24/7 scramble for that stupid title. And, you get all the same asshats that run out for the title every single time. They go ahead, they head back to the back, and then that was it. That was the whole segment. So Elias looks like shit. They reintroduced Jackson Riker. And I guess he's a bodyguard for Elias at this point.
All that to reintroduce Jackson Riker during a goofy 24/7 segment. What the fuck was the point in that? And by the way, I thought Jackson Riker was going to signal a new transformation for Elias, that he was going to be this different guy. All that happened was Jackson Riker beat up a few of the 24/7 people who happened to be running out there. What was the point in that? Elias was the same guy. He was just like, I got electrocuted. And here's Jackson Riker, who heard my music.
Yeah.
So Jackson Riker, this is basically like the Messiah storyline.
Yep. And that's what I said, that it seemed like they were getting into some type of religious, zealot type idea. He got electrocuted and saw the light, and now he's going to be that kind of role because Seth's not on TV. So,
and it's like all they had to do was have, Elias act a little bit more serious, but still Elias. Maybe he's got this weird side to him now with the electrocution. They do like the sort of like Gold Dust when that happened to him. But they really could have sold this Jackson Riker was maybe even hired by Elias because of all the album sales. Elias is like, I made so much money that, I used to leave arenas and sometimes people would be waiting out there, and they would attack me or they'd throw things at me and all that other stuff. And they could have had Jackson Riker be like, when I heard that fans would attack him, and that they would try to hurt Elias, and they would try to do this and that to him. Would you do that to the Beatles? Would you do that to Paul Simon? Would you do that to Paul McCartney? Would you do that to, Billy Joel? Would you allow that man to be assaulted, one of our greatest minds, to Beethoven? And I just can't, I'm not going to sit by and let that happen to one of the most musical geniuses of our time. That might have been kind of funny if this is what they're going for, but
something, or at least say he hired him so people won't interrupt him anymore. Like, here's a security, bodyguards.
Yeah. But see, that's what you're getting to the point of what I just did. I think is a better idea.
Yours is much better because it gets him to be
but wait a minute. Wait a minute. What I said is a better idea of the stupidity. If you want to go stupidity route of goofiness, then I think mine's a better idea with the goofy story. But what you said,
goofy, making him a fan.
Yeah, but it's a little goofy.
He's like a sycophant. He's
right.
He's a believer of his message, but he doesn't have to be a preacher. He can just do it in his music, and his music becomes his gospel without being religious like Seth was.
Yeah, it's still weird though. But like what I like was what you just said, when the guy has just been paid to keep Elias safe. That's a better idea. Because
he's always getting interrupted and attacked.
Exactly.
Constantly.
I'm always interrupted. I'm always attacked. I've hired this man to, make sure, he's the bouncer, basically. Call him the bouncer. Remember the roadie? He had the roadie with double J. He's the bouncer. That's why I've hired the bouncer Jackson Riker, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that works.
He's the bouncer Jackson Riker. I had so many sales. We made so much money on my last CD. You guys downloaded it everywhere. You bought it. More hard copies sold than anybody this year. Whatever he wants to make up. That I went out and I hired myself the greatest bouncer of all time. The greatest security guard, Jackson Riker. He's the toughest son of a bitch. No one's going to, I'm going to keep all my fans away. I'm going to keep all the money-hungry superstars who are in the back away. And he's going to blah, blah. Just keep it simple. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, going into what I said, which was like, I'm an obsessed fan. Elias's music is amazing. That's a little lame. But, like, at least that other thing is, that's a basic story that makes sense. Like, we all get that. And then, also, then you could have done the thing tonight where the 24/7 people came down. And this guy could have beaten up everybody.
Yeah, have him tool everyone.
Yeah.
And then that's when he says, you're worth your every penny. Something like that.
Yeah, and
simple.
And Tom Phillips could have been like, well, he really is a bouncer. Like, like that type of thing. Like, oh, he really is a bouncer. This guy really is pretty good.
And it goes with the theme of a musician having security detail. Like that's something common. You see security on stage when people are performing. So it's not far-fetched or stupid for him to be there. It fits with the gig gimmick that Elias has. It just works. It's simple. Go with it. Instead, we have all of this nonsense for no reason.
Yeah, and they introduce the guy, and it looks stupid. And it's like,
yeah,
why
it looked
didn't you...
ridiculous, and then everyone runs out to interrupt. Why?
All because, what was it, because R-Truth came in the ring for no reason to interrupt.
Exactly. He had no reason to be there, even apologizing for interrupting. I understand it's a joke that they're going to try and tell, but the whole thing just looks like shit. That's the problem.
This is another one of those plot hole things. Like, we get it. Wrestling's full of plot holes because it's wrestling. Who cares? But this is another plot hole thing that's so ridiculous. It's like, why would you do this? Why wouldn't you have maybe Elias runs into someone in the back earlier in the day with his guitar, he bumps into somebody. And then the guy goes, hey, excuse you or whatever. And Elias goes, what? Watch where you're going. And the guy's like, you ran into me. And Elias is like, man, don't talk, man. Don't ever try to touch me again or whatever. And the guy's like, try to touch you. So the guy's like, thinks, and Elias thinks he's trying to touch him. And the guy, he bumped into the guy though. And so then the guy comes out to the ring tonight. And maybe that's the first thing that happens before Elias introduces the guy. The guy comes out to the ring like, yeah, so earlier I watched the video. They showed it earlier on Raw. Did you see what happened at 2 p.m. when we arrived in the arena? Elias, I just want to come out here, you know what I mean, and maybe you want to give me an apology or whatever. And Elias is like, nah, man, I'm out here to talk about my music and talk about a lot of things tonight, and it's none of it's about you. So stop making everything about you. I'm not going to give you an autograph, all this stuff. Hey, I don't want an autograph. You bumped into me in the back. You tried to make me look like some kind of fool. Just apologize to me, and I'll go in the back. And Elias is like, listen, man, I don't think you understand. I'm not signing anything for your kids and stuff. I'm not doing it. And the guy goes, is this some kind of like joke or some shit? Or like, what are you doing? Like, and Elias is like, can you please just stop begging me for my autograph and harassing me and, leave me alone. And then the guy's like, all right, man, that's it. And he throws the mic down and he goes to get in the ring. And that's when Jackson Riker just mauls the guy, beats the fuck out of him. And it's a pretty big guy, whoever it is. And, Jackson Riker just fucks this guy up and leaves him into shit. And Elias is like, see, now, this is one of the things we were going to talk about tonight. And I'm almost glad this happened in a way. Because I was able to demonstrate what's going to happen if people keep trying to get my autograph in the back. If people keep trying to take a picture with me, if the other superstars keep being jealous of my fame or keep just being too big of fans, people are so obsessed with me, I had to go out and get myself a security guard, the bouncer, Jackson Riker, and whatever the fuck, Stryker, whatever the hell his name is. And then he goes into the whole thing about this guy, you know what I mean? Like, I sold so many copies, I was able to pay. He's like, I'm able to pay for private security. Listen, I understand a lot of people out there might think it's weird, but you can see right there that I do need protection or that I do need a bouncer. People,
every week I get interrupted by some fool thinking that they can interrupt the great Elias. Yeah, that stuff. And
just do all that shit. Like
it works perfect. You just built up, and this can go on for weeks. And the funny thing is, this would be even better if Elias was a champion. With people, now that he has the bodyguard, people want to get to him to get to the belt, but they have to get past the bodyguard. And it sets up, and then he doesn't have to really defend the title as much, and he can but because the U.S. title not being defended at all, that's just forgotten about with Lashley. So at least this would be something that he could do a weekly, attempt to try and form, some new feud. So, all right, you got to get past my bodyguard, and people can't do it. Then finally, after weeks and weeks, you get the person that beats the bodyguard. Oh, and then he gets to try and go after Elias, and the bodyguard cheats, and you just keep the story going, but it works. You at least get the belt on TV. Things get defended. There's so many other things that could be done with this. And, that's a stupid idea as is, but it's better than what we got.
What do you think about Alejandro just jumping in here out of nowhere and just making weird faces? What's up, Alejandro?
Nothing much. Ross sucked tonight.
I do. I think it sucked a dick tonight. Sucked a big Joe Biden dick tonight.
You can say that again.
It sucked a big Joe Biden dick tonight.
Exactly.
Who do you think has the bigger penis, Trump or Biden?
Probably Trump.
Really? Wow. I actually don't think so. I think Biden might have a bigger penis.
Going off reports, too. I mean, supposedly it looks like a weird mushroom.
Yeah. Yeah, because his
wasn't too flattering.
His like breasts area is starting to protrude out of his body. It's sucking up the blood flow from the penis area. And Biden has more of a straight, smaller frame. So I think that Biden, believe it or not, I know it's hard, can't believe I'm saying this. But I think Biden might have the bigger pecker. Can't believe I'm saying it, but Trump's got the bigger bank account.
Yeah, no doubt there.
Yeah, by the way, Matt Gaetz is a giant tool.
Matt Gaetz?
Yep.
Who's that?
One of the congressmen.
Oh, what Congress is he? Where is he from? Do you know what state he's in or whatever?
I don't remember.
Matt Gaetz is a giant okay, all right. I don't remember. Somebody tell us in the chat where Matt Gaetz is from. Somebody tells. Amanda Carmen is in the chat saying, hang up on you. You have a beef with Amanda, Alejandro?
No, I don't.
Really? You don't have a beef with her?
I have no beef with anyone.
What about the
Were
nudes?
You sexting her, and that was the problem?
What about the nudes that you have? You told us about the nudes, right?
Yeah. You were screaming before. Look at my rooster over and over.
Yeah. Come on, drop the bombshell on everybody. Drop the bombshell.
No, I have no bombshell.
Then just whip it out.
No, don't do that.
Oh, come
on. So because you could...
Joe wants a Christmas miracle.
You could probably get Biden or Trump a penis pump. That one of them needs a penis pump. I think it might be Trump.
I would get him the auto blow. For the man that has everything, a blowjob machine, can't go wrong.
Yeah, you could suck, fucking fondle that thing until the end of time. Matt Gates is Florida, says D. Welsh. So
yeah, Dwelsh says Florida. Yeah, what city?
I mean, does it really matter in Florida? It's all kind of a, bunch of trolling.
Florida's Florida.
Bunch of mongoloids.
Yeah, just like Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is a giant tool to Donald Trump.
He's a tool like as in Trump uses him, or he's a tool like his penis.
And he's being used by Trump.
Well, what is he doing for Trump exactly?
On COVID numbers, that's really fucking stupid. You shouldn't even be doing that because everybody's gonna know what the hell is going on in Florida, and B, the numbers.
But I don't think
way worse than you can imagine.
I don't think that DeSantis is skewing the COVID numbers in Florida for Trump. I think he's skewing them for his own self because he wants to keep his state open. I don't think he's doing anything really for Trump. Trump's not even the president anymore, so I mean he won't be soon.
Until January 20th.
Yeah, I mean soon he won't even be the president
until January 20th.
Yeah, but the Florida numbers don't help Trump really. It's really Florida.
Trump now is if you want to be pardoned. That's what people are hitting him up on his way out. So
yeah, I don't think DeSantis is messing with the numbers out there because of Trump. I think he's messing with them because he wants to keep his fucking state open. You know what I mean? You're referencing the whistleblower lady who got invaded in her home with guns pointed at her children because she didn't want to fudge the numbers. But she did want to break several rules and policies and legalities to tell people.
True.
So, it's one of those weird things where, I think I get why she got in trouble because she technically did do some stuff that wasn't whatever. But, I just probably wouldn't have pointed guns at her family and stuff like that. Probably wouldn't do that. Probably would go against that. Say, cops could probably make it a better arrest. If she was black, she'd be dead probably, though. So she's lucky that she wasn't. But, no, I don't know. But she did get guns pointed at her kids. I'll tell you what, man. If people pointed guns at my kids, I would probably be dead. Because I would attempt to stab the cops in the throat. And if I had a weapon, there would be a gunfight. Because I would just lose my mind. So I would not be a good person to accidentally break in on because I would snap.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Diverse.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
New Day with pancakes, Riddle with donuts.
Whoa.
Keith with coin toss. WTF was that? Everyone is a joke. Even Hardy acting silly.
I know,
Even Baszler. Remember joke last week about Lana's front will look like her back and her back will look like her...
Yeah, right? The joke last week. The joke last week, Diverse. Way too funny. Ahaha.
That reminds me. Why the fuck did Carmella blast a fucking champagne bottle of
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Oh,
Luis, you Mexican queer, leave the show or I sell your sisters on the black market and I make your dad cut my while I butt fuck mom.
Oh my God.
Damn, AJ.
Yo no mexicano, man.
Yeah,
Yo
he's...
soy salvadoreño.
Well,
soy
AJ...
boricua.
Well, he doesn't speak Spanish. He's a black man. Alejandro. That's a black man. So instead you should say, yo, motherfucker ass. No, I don't know. No, but he doesn't understand the Spanish you're speaking. AJ Adams, thank you, man. Yeah, he hates Hispanics. AJ Adams actually hates Hispanics more than whites. Just so you know.
My name is Kane and I'm donating.
Oh, wait a minute. Gay for Luis.
No, thank you.
Louise, can you say this? Come slap my ass, daddy. I bet you sound so sexy. I want to vacuum clean your cock and suck ever sperm out of you.
Oh, no.
I want to kill and swallow all of your potential children, even the retarded ones.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wants to swallow that entire load. That's quite the offer.
He wants him to say that whole thing?
He just wants you to say, come slap my ass, daddy.
Oh,
that's all you got to say.
Say, slap my ass, daddy, and we'll be done with it.
I just said it.
Go ahead. I'll say it, too.
You're just going to tell him, slap my ass, daddy.
And then go,
Louise, send me a penis pump. It's for a friend of mine.
All right, Casey is Raw wants a penis pump, okay? Can we get a penis pump over to him right now? Casey is Raw.
It's not for Casey, it's for a friend of his.
For a friend of Casey is Raw.
Super chat.
Really?
Party.
Jacob RP with $1. Thank you, Jacob. What up, Jacob? Thank you, sir. Yes, could we, Jacob, thank you. Could we get that penis pump over there to Casey's Raw for his friend, Luis?
He has to order it through lapump.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, do we get a coupon code since we know you?
Welcome.
LAPump.com. Oh, coupon code welcome. LAPump.com. Free plug here, everybody. Free plug. Look at that. They're going to get an influx of sales from midgets. There's going to be one guy who orders 10 of them. Old man Davey.
All at once.
He's going to be pumping it up in his little wheelchair. Fucking, hoo-hoo-hoo. He's going to just have a fucking good old grand fucking weekend. Will you
Get off the Discord, Todd. I mean, Bullfrog.
Is that why is Bullfrog here? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on tonight? All the fucking.
I'm just kidding.
Oh God, he's here. Bullfrog, why are you here?
Good mood.
He's.
What is it? One target.
I want to get Lewis's penis pump.
Oh, look at this! You got a customer, Luis. He wants to
buy one.
Bullfrog wants to buy a penis pump, and he's girthy too.
I keep telling you, he's like Beetlejuice. You say his name, he arrives. So
I didn't even say it.
Not you.
Really want to get Friday on the penis pump.
Say what?
I want to get Friday with the penis pump really bad.
Oh.
Get out of here, man.
Wow.
What?
He's a legitimate customer. He's trying to buy one of your fine.
Yeah, man. Can I get a discount?
Okay, go to lapump.com. Go. Choose the
what was that? Did anybody hear?
Your brain broke.
Oh my God!
Stroke than Oscar did.
Do I get a promo code with that, Luis?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Well, we'll come. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, baby.
Do I get half off? Do I get half off with that promo code?
You get half jerked off.
Hold on a second.
Oh my God! Look at these things.
I think I think it's a 10% discount.
Oh my God! Look at these, Luis.
No, I want buy one get one free.
Can you talk to your manager about getting?
No, we don't have BOGO.
Can you please get a coupon code Cronin for these peanuts? Can you tell your manager and sales team, listen, this guy would love to sponsor lapump.com.
2 for 1.
Yeah, can you get coupon code Cronin going and they give me $50 a month? Can you work that out somehow?
That would have to
have the code be Cronin will come.
Yeah, Cronin come. How about just can we do Cronin come?
About to get it, man. Here we go.
For maybe like 15% off, but
I'll do 5.
WTF, Luis, I can't get a free penis pump. You can't help out a brother out. I have to save my money for buying more important things like video games.
Right. Look at all the stuff that Casey has to buy.
Yeah, you gotta help the brother out, Luis.
Thank you, Casey's Raw. What was that, Luis?
No,
Casey really needs our penis pump.
I guess he just wants to fucking buy Cyberpunk 2077.
That's true. He does. He wants to buy. No, he wants to buy Cyberpump. Why don't you guys have a new?
I want my Cyberpump.
Yeah, right. See, already you guys should already have a neon penis pump called Cyberpump. It's like 69.
Cyber pumping it.
Everybody's doing a play on the video game, and your pump can malfunction. It won't even work, just like the video game. You'd be like,
yeah, that's chromosomes.
And it like breaks people's dicks, and then they get sued for the pump. No, but seriously, talk to them about that. I would like $50 a month, and I'll plug them every week. It'll be amazing. They'll get 400,000 views. LAPump.com, coupon code CroninCome. It'd be perfect. So think about it. You don't have to, but just think about it. Spread the word.
I'll see what I can do.
Share the word. Tell them you listen.
Work your magic. Work your penis pump magic.
400,000 unique views a month, guaranteed. You know, they'll love it. lapump.com. Absolutely.
Super chat party.
I think that's a repeat.
This is
that was
Jacob.
fresh.
Yeah, it's Jacob RP just dropping another one of his dollars, baby. He's got those dollars to spend.
Cyberpump 2069. Yeah.
Cyberpump.
See, now the chat's getting into it.
Yep, purple and
Yeah,
green.
you dirty bastards.
God damn, dude. I'd be.
I know Raw put me to sleep tonight. What the fuck was that show?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Did you
I missed
see,
it.
Joe, Asuka cut a promo with Lana before Lana had her match? I know she has a language barrier. It's hard for her to speak, but it looked like Asuka had a goddamn stroke.
Wasn't that the recorded thing from days ago that they were showing on the internet, and then they played it tonight like it was new?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I didn't see that one beforehand, but the part I'm talking about is where she was pumping her up in the back, and she's like, "You can beat her. You can do it."
And then Nia was there.
That was the old part. This was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was actually before the match, and let me.
No, so I'm thinking of the one where they showed the old one where she turns around and Nia was there.
Yeah, no, that was last week.
Then no, I didn't. I fell asleep at that point.
So this was right before their match.
Oh no!
You have to hear the way Asuka talks. It sounded like she had a freaking stroke.
A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Bullfag's nickname is Buttfuck Billy cause he butt-fucked little Billy in the back of a van, then Louis swallowed all his hillbilly tart cum.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want to Louis, you want to share the load?
You want?
Hell no.
Did you say you want?
Oh, come on, dude.
You want to shrimp the load or share the load? What
No, share the load.
Okay, I heard shrimp for some reason. Let's go back and listen real quick.
No, we could throw some shrimp in there too.
Oh.
Get out of here, man.
Have a little cocktail.
Let's go back and listen to Alejandro where he made a weird noise. Listen to this.
What? He's a legitimate customer. He's trying to buy one of your fine.
Yeah, man, can I get a discount?
Go to lapump.com. Go.
Oh my god.
You notice I stutter, huh?
Oh man, yeah, that was a great one though. That was like a really good one. Like that noise you made was hilariously awesome.
You pulled a me. Your brain had to reboot.
Yeah, we've all done it. Listen to this.
Customer. He's trying to buy one of your fine.
Yeah, man, can I get a discount?
Go to lapump.com. Go. Yeah.
What was that? I mean, like time stood still right there for a minute. It was
promo code Bullfrog.
Go. Go.
Oh, okay.
Oh
for a second there, I
God.
thought that was him.
Oh, it is him. But I mean, not live, but it is him.
I heard Cyberpunk 2069 has bugs in it. Any fixes?
Yeah.
2069.
So I heard you have to cut a hole. You have to cut a hole in the bottom of the pump. If you cut a hole in the bottom of the pump, it will leak out just fine. You'll have no problems.
Go. Go.
Oh my God.
Funny and embarrassing at the same time.
Well, you sound like a gorilla beating off. So let's just say that. Which is great.
Go. Go.
Maybe you got a throat problem too. Now I can feel it, man. All around the bottom here is just fucked up. I don't know what it is. It's either all my lymph nodes are swollen because something's wrong, or I just strained my throat yelling. I think that could even just be it. But god damn it, it's been going on a while. Maybe my tooth is infected again, and that's what's causing all the problems.
You can have an issue in your jaw that can affect your throat. I've had that. That's not fun.
I don't know. Could be
Same here.
I've had a tooth get infected, and then it didn't cause like fevers or anything, but it was enough of an infection that just caused pain on the other side of my jaw, like down low.
Yeah.
And my ears were bothering me like I had an ear infection.
Yeah, I'm feeling all around like just feels weird. Like I don't know, it's bizarre. It could be that tooth because I got the root canal thing, and then they didn't finish the cap because I ran out of money. So it could be that. And the guy was like, "You got to get back here." So it could be that. But if I go back, it's getting pulled now. I'm just fucking take this thing out.
Louise says, you like making snowmans?
Say what?
Do you like making snowmans?
No.
You don't like doing
like Frosty?
Yeah, the little Frosty snowman.
With a corncob
Hold
pipe
on,
and a
I'm
button
writing
nose.
this right now.
You don't like building a snowman? Well,
Yeah, man.
Come on, I live
Wintertime.
in Southern California. It
Yeah.
doesn't snow here.
You're right. Well,
That
Unless
doesn't
if you
mean
go to
you
the
can
mountains.
go out
Good
of state and build your snowman.
would you? What if you flew over to my place? Would you build a snowman with me, Alejandro, outside?
We can name him Bob, or we can name him
Maybe in
Beowulf
front of my
Snowman.
dad's house in the Bronx.
Oh, in front of your dad's house in the Bronx. Want to give us his address? No, I'm just kidding. Listen, boys. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Love you, Bullfrog. Love you, Luis. Thank you, Antonio, Alejandro. All right, Jesus, we gotta end. We gotta end the show sometime. We'll never end it with those guys on.
We need our own security.
Yeah, give me Jackson Riker.
We need Jackson Riker.
They just jumped on in here.
Right
man.
wing extraordinaire.
Good Lord. But yeah, so what was that news story you want to talk about before we get out of here? And oh shit!
Stop punching my car.
Oh!
That's all I got.
Oh!
Stop punching my car. Stop punching my car. Oh my God. Stop punching my log. Oh my God. Stop punching my car. Oh my God. Stop it.
Okay, so I have the same mic as Luis. Yeah, cheap snowball, do I sound as bad?
Okay, so I have the same mic. Yeah, I mean, you sound all right. I mean, I don't even notice that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But with
He also
Alejandro,
gets really close to it too. With the snowball, it helps to be further away.
yeah.
We told him last time, like lean back, and it helped.
But wait a minute, isn't Alejandro have the snowball? So like, it doesn't matter what mic he has with his voice.
Yeah, I think that's the.
Yeah, so like that snowball,
You've
first
never
of all,
sounded like that show.
It sounded bad. The snowball's not very good anyway. But I mean, dude, you could have a fucking $500 mic in front of Alejandro, and it would still not sound very good.
It still needs some work.
Those temporary fillings on the root canal only last a few weeks. You definitely need that crown, Joe. Oh, really? It's been 4 months. It's been 4 months. It was what, August?
Yeah.
August,
I wanna
September.
say.
Yeah, it was August. Actually, it was July. Right? Oh no, or maybe I don't know. But you remember I was telling you guys the dentist was sick. And he was like
And you were saying if you got COVID from him that
I'm like, dude, if I get COVID in the next 2 weeks or a week, I'm blaming it on this guy. And I didn't get COVID.
Thankfully.
But yeah, they wanted the other dentist wanted like a crazy amount of money, I don't know, to fill it in. And I was like,
yeah, it was a large amount comparatively speaking.
well, because I had the student people watching, so I got this discount on the root canal. Huge discount on the root canal. So it ended up being the same amount for the filling. And I was like, first of all, I thought the other dentist was going to do all of it. I didn't know there was going to be a comeback and do something else. And then he was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, how long will this last? He's like, well, you want to do it in the next couple of days. Oh, yeah? Well, it's 4 months later. So maybe that is my problem. Maybe I got a big, like, weird infection that's, like, minor that's going on in here. I mean, it could be, but it could just be my throat, too. I don't fucking know. I'm not a doctor. And I really don't want to visit one. But if it keeps up, I mean, maybe I will, but, you know, I don't know. Pretty much out of fucking dough. You know, like even $200 for the fucking med clinic, I'm not even doing that. I called them, though. I call them and be like, hey, here's what's going on. Feels like my lymph nodes are protruding out of my neck. What do you got? You got antibiotics? Why don't you just take those? I don't know. Maybe it'll go away soon. I don't know. Maybe I had COVID. Maybe I had COVID, and this is like the lingering... I had the
effects of it. I still wondered that myself because everybody in the house was sick at one point. Kind of went through your house. So
well, in February something went through the house, And then,
But even just a couple weeks ago, everybody was sick.
And 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, something went through my house, which was all coincided with going to GameStop, by the way.
Yeah.
We hadn't really, as a family, gone anywhere in a while, as a full family. Shell, by the way, thank you for the $21. 21. And we actually, like, everybody went to GameStop. And there was so many people in there, and I'm like, oh, we're going to get something. And we probably got, like, you left the house for the first time, like, in forever as a family disease. You know, because we'd gone, like, you know, apple picking, like, you know, things like that, outside, outdoors, you know. But we hadn't gone anything where we're all inside of a place where people are. So, so
that was your first inside adventure.
And by the way, both in February and 4 weeks ago when my whole family got sick, I barely got sick. I had like runny nose and shit. Runny nose and felt kind of shitty, but not really anything big. Meanwhile, everybody else got the shittier version of it. Like everybody else was a little bit sicker than I was. And in February, I didn't even get sick. And neither did my son. But Leah, Finn, and my daughter all got sick. But they all had... And Finn, my son, and Leah were sick for like 2 weeks. Leah never gets sick. She was sick for like 2 weeks. And I didn't get sick at all.
What the point is, Vince? What the fuck the point is, Vince?
Alejandro.
What the fuck the point is, Vince?
Raw was trash. Lana getting killed was trash. Bray Wyatt getting burned in the box was garbage. 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 Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Did he type? Oh, he did type that one. And then it cut it off. Raw gets a 1.5. Wow. Thank you, Luis Antonio Alejandro. He is a producer.
Call your mother or call your father and tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
Tell them all about it and how it needs to be cleaned out.
With a golden shower.
Nice golden shower right to the clam box.
Clean you out.
Right in the clam box, all over the titties. Thank you, sir, man. And thank you to Shell for becoming a $25 producer. Shell is back in the producer role, and so isn't a few other people. We're going to be getting to that tomorrow.
Yeah. All those producers. Yeah, so I was mentioning earlier that Mike Chioda was on Mailbag Monday.
Woo!
And he was talking about being in AEW, and he was talking about a story that him and Chris Jericho brought up not that long ago, which was dealing with WrestleMania 18 when The Rock took on Hogan.
Yeah.
And Jericho said that he was running around all day that day telling everyone that would listen to him at all, hey, we shouldn't go on last. We can't follow that match. I'm telling you, we can't follow that match. Wow. And Chris was young at the time, an unbelievable worker. He's from Canada. So he was telling the office, I remember him saying that he shouldn't be on last. He said Rock versus Hogan should be on last. And it was Triple H that didn't want to give up the main event match at the end. He said that the energy would be taken out of the crowd, and I felt bad for that last title match because the energy was sucked out of the building. And he said that Hogan and Rock should have definitely been the main event. We've said that for years, and they knew that then. So obviously it was politicked that Triple H kept his main event match. And really that should have gone on before that. So
yeah, and I can understand all sides on that. Because
I can see them wanting to keep the belt as the main event, but Hogan, Rock at that point where they were, and in Canada, it was going to be explosive no matter what.
And you felt like the WWE World Title thing was big enough and important enough, and was such a story for a while. This was a long kind of build, I think, if I remember. I don't know, with Stephanie and Jericho and everything. And Triple H, that this was going to be, this felt like this long-term build that was going to be big enough and strong enough to be solid. And The Rock and Hogan was just this sort of fleeting little story that was built on their names that could be put anywhere on the card.
Yeah, they didn't put as much effort into that as they had with Stephanie McMahon being involved and the whole story there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it just felt like, that's the right move. We put the world title on last, and at this time, unless I'm mistaken, it had been a long time It would have been quite a few years since the title had not been main eventing.
Yeah.
This was what? WrestleMania what? 17?
18.
18. So this was 18. So I believe 17 ended with the world title.
Yeah, 17 was Austin's turn with The Rock. 16 was a four-way. 15 with The Rock and Austin. 14 did. 13.
13? Yeah, ended with The Undertaker winning, right?
Yep.
So, and then 12 was Michaels and Brett, and 11 was the last time. So WrestleMania 11. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7 years. You're on your 7th year of the world title had been last every time during this era. And the last time it wasn't defended last was because LT, a football player, had to face Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bigelow, yeah.
So I can understand Triple H being like, well, we're not being fucking, I'm not being Bam Bam LT'd. I'm going to be in the fucking goddamn main event. And by the way, was this the first main event for Triple H ever?
No, he was in the main event at 16.
Oh, right, the four-way.
He was part of the four-way.
Yeah, that's right. But this was Jericho and Triple H, right?
Yes,
Only.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Jericho
this was his first real time in a one-on-one match, not a four-way thing. And
yeah.
He's winning the belts. Or no, he's not winning the belts.
And
because his return, he had the big return and everything, and this was his moment essentially. This was his moment. So he didn't want his moment to take place.
It's always easy to look back in hindsight and be like, "Oh, that was the wrong decision." Same thing with them ending the streak. You could argue that, and
yeah, this was a wrong decision in hindsight that you wouldn't.
By the way, you're explaining it. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known, because even I didn't. Going into the show, I wasn't saying to all my buddies, like, this should be on last.
Yeah, this should be the match to watch out for. No, we didn't think that way. I didn't think Hogan would put on. And it wasn't even a great match. That's the thing.
It was the crowd.
We've said it. Yeah, watch it on mute and it sucks. But the crowd made that something so special.
They were so into it, and it was Toronto, and I was into it at home. I had chills and shit. Like, I mean... And I didn't think it until a little bit after. It was a little bit... Once the match really got rolling, after the few, posturing and stuff, I went, oh, man. Holy shit, this should have been the main event.
Yeah, you knew you were witnessing something.
But you didn't know that. I didn't... but I didn't think that beforehand. I didn't think... No. I thought, no, this is just...
Not in the build-up to it.
In fact, I was pretty excited. I mean, I was excited. It was one of those things
I was more looking forward to Austin's match.
Yeah. Yes,
with Hall,
and honestly, the more The Rock and Hogan started playing out, and the more it got close to that time for Hogan to come out, you started feeling butterflies, because I mean, maybe some people don't understand, but we were, at least I was. You were, I guess you weren't really, but I was a Hulkamaniac, when I was a kid. So I never wanted Hulk Hogan to leave the WWF. I didn't even know why he left or what happened. And I just always wanted to see Hogan, and there was this, I wanted to see him back here. But so much happened that he became a heel and all these other things and going to WCW. But that little bit of childhood started kicking in more and more. And the more you started doing the poses, the more it was like, oh my God, this is WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, the first, and it just kept coming back more and more. You got excited. And so I had no idea that was going to happen to me. And it did. And I think all the people in the crowd, a lot of them felt that way going in, but then there was a lot of people in the crowd that started feeling that way even more and more. And yeah, I had no clue that was going to happen, that weird passion and excitement was going to take over me. And when I heard the crowd getting behind him, then I even got more fired up. And it was just so, nobody could have really predicted that. I think that it's just what happened. It's unfortunate. And I remember watching the main event that night and being tired. I was fucking tired watching the show.
I was exhausted at that point because I was so into that match beforehand and other matches on that card. So,
oh man, it was dead after that. But you were watching happy, but you were just like, it felt like the motions. It really did. It felt like they're going through the motions.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here comes the main event thing now. Triple H, Jericho. Yeah, and If you,
I remember, like, I was ready. Everybody, that we watched it with was ready to shut the TV off. Like, all right, that's it. Show's over. I'm like, no, there's one more match.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like shut it off, but I felt like I remember I was distracted though. I remember I was like, there was something going on at my place, and people were over. And I just remember, we were like dispersing, looking for food and stuff like that while the main event was going on, and it was this barely cared about thing. And I don't know what you could do to
go.
I thought he got back in here.
I mean, that is a creepy noise right there. That
is one hell of a swallow.
That's him pumping the penis pump. Oh, look at this.
Shit bum.
As Arna Kasparian would say, trash.
Trash. Anna Kasparian. I don't even know who that is.
Also, another thing I was going to bring up to you is good old Lars, our good old fabled legend from the show. He is not even showing up, allegedly, to SmackDown anymore. He's just not even popping up because they have nothing for him to do.
Oh.
So rather than show up and not do anything, he's just not even showing up at this point.
Well, that's better than him taking off. I thought he maybe ran away again.
That's how I was, I was worried at least that's what would happen at first. But nope, reading further into it, somebody, pulled the plug on Lars again this time, and it doesn't seem like he's had any other personal episodes or issues, thankfully. It just looks like he's...
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
How the fuck does Pritchard keep his spot when Bischoff and Heyman were fired for way less bad shit? Has he had a good show since he took over? He killed Tnay back in the day. Then recently he buried how NXT talent is trained. What a joke.
Yeah, Bruce...
not a lot of good things people are saying about Bruce, all in all.
Yeah.
And a lot of the wrestlers, as we reported on Out of Nowhere, are really upset with him, apparently.
He's made it worse. He's made everything worse.
Apparently his constant yesing Vince is what gets him to be in that position. So.
What the fuck the point is, Vince? What the fuck the point
is, Vince?
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking girl comes along singing her song Don't Mess Around, just got to be strong, just stop. Cause I really love you, stop. I'll be thinking of you, look in my heart and let love keep us together.
Keep us together.
Yeah, I didn't like his outfit, and I wasn't a big fan of his promo either, the Mr. Gentleman promo.
Right.
Allow me to introduce myself. Are you going to fuck the guy?
Cap, thank you so much for the lyrics. Now you're going to put... You guys are going to put songs into my head that won't escape.
Yeah, especially that song. The keyboard. Dun, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's never going to leave my head now. And I hate you.
No, certainly not.
I hate you. I hope you don't get a PlayStation.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Underrated WrestleMania is 19. Look at card and most matches were good. Brock versus Kurt. Sharucha versus HBK. Austin versus Rock 3. Hogan versus Vince. Triple H versus Booker T. Even Ramos.
Yeah, Eazy-E. I like that WrestleMania. Eazy-E, I definitely like it. I liked all the teen, like the late, 17, 18, and 19. Those were all pretty good. I didn't like 20, really. 21, not really either.
20 I didn't care for, but I was there at the build for 20, and that always stands out. But, yeah, 20 I wasn't crazy about.
22
Kane
is
and
good.
Taker.
I like 22.
Yeah, 20 kind of, some of the stuff just leaves that bad taste in your mouth. Unfortunately, people leaving and Lesnar and Goldberg was
too bad too because it was Madison Square Garden, 10 and 1 and all the history. I mean, WrestleMania 1 and 2 and 3 and even 4, those ones are a little rough to watch if you go back and watch them.
And Kevin Owens, while you're talking about Mania, was talking in recent interviews he was doing with Talk Wrestling and other places, and he said that originally when he and Sami Zayn teamed up to take on Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, before it was Daniel Bryan, the plan was actually for it to be Vince McMahon. So Shane and Vince were supposed to team up to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Unfortunately,
Oh my God.
or fortunately, Vince nixed the idea because he said that he wouldn't be able to run the show and focus on his match at the same time. So
yeah,
this is coming from Owens. I believe it.
Oh my God. Can you imagine Vince out there at this age doing that?
Yeah. Was that WrestleMania 33 or 34 where they had Daniel Bryan return? And I can't remember which one, but
33, I think.
I think that
no,
was
34.
34?
No, it was 33. It was 33. I can't remember either.
33 was the roller coaster one. 34 was...
How was 34 then?
Yeah, I think it's 34, but even still, either which way, it would have been amusing to see Vince 2 or 3 years ago go ahead and be involved in a wrestling match. Come on. Good thing they nixed that one.
Yeah,
that would have been a disaster.
That would have been rough. You know, I couldn't even see Vince being a referee at this point.
Yeah, certainly not.
If he was out there really reffing and like jumping down and counting, I'd be amazed. I mean, he's got that really like he's got the tough bravado walk still in the presence in a way. But I can tell looking at him that I can't believe he's even near as fast as he would have to be. Like, he's very, very slow now, I feel like. I mean, maybe it surprised me, but I feel like he kind of walks and runs with that limberness. With that sort of like he can't bend. He's stiff. He was stiff before, but I mean like very stiff now. Not anything he did wrong. He's just old. He's like 68, 70. I mean, how old's Vince? You remember?
Yeah, I'm checking right now.
How old's Vince McMahon?
Vince is 75, so he would have been 71.
Oh my God.
72. Yeah.
I'm giving him credit like, oh, he's 68. He's 75. Vince McMahon is 75.
And it was 34 when he came back for Daniel Bryan's. The chat confirmed. So thank you, everybody there.
Good God. I mean, how old's Ric Flair?
Let's see.
Jake is doing all the looking up tonight. He's 72 probably or something like that.
He is 71 as of February 25th. So in this February, he'll be 72. Spot on.
Can you imagine Ric Flair in a match? You can't.
I can't. Even Hogan at 67, him saying he wants to come back and do things. I think the only one probably that I could picture in a match is Randy Savage. And he'd have to take on The Undertaker, and The Undertaker would have to summon him from the underworld.
Yeah, I picture Macho Man too. Yeah. Undertaker digs him up and then spikes his bones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bone saws ready.
Yeah, there's not a chance in hell that I could think that Vince would be able to pull that off and make it look decent. So they went with the right thing there. That would have been a total disaster.
Amanda Carmen under attack. I've deleted like 6 accounts.
Yeah, I see it. Just chats going
disabled
wild.
hoe. Like, what the fuck?
People are.
What's wrong with people? People are sick as fuck.
That's the thing with Sting, though, Joe. I'm apparently, this week on Dynamite, he's supposed to announce a fight of some sort.
Yeah, Sting is going to say, "Here's who I'm coming after."
I mean, we knew that they would eventually get to it, but they said that he'll be speaking on Wednesday's Dynamite. But the dirt sheets have been also reporting, as I heard it early this morning, that hey, he's supposed to go ahead and start his match, program with whoever he'll be facing, and likely it'll be Darby Allin to start. I just have a hard time picturing Sting in any type of competitive match at 61. I'm not sure how it'll work out.
Yeah, I think he can go in there 12 minutes with somebody, but I don't know. We'll see.
You think we'd get that much?
I think, like you said, him and Cody, maybe him and Kenny.
Maybe.
I'm not even interested, like you said. I'm just interested in him showing up and kind of being this menacing thing.
That's what I'm more intrigued by as well. I prefer him being, some type of authoritative role or that mentorship position. I think would work better. I'm worried about him being in a match.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck with that thought of him collapsing at Night of Champions. That's what I see. That's what kind of resonated with me and stays in my mind with Sting, unfortunately. Unless they have him get in the ring and then he pulls out the baseball bat and cracks somebody in the head and pins him, like that's it. But then do the fans feel cheated? I know when he was originally signed, they said they had him signed already for about a month, but they were very worried and concerned about bumps being taken, and they wanted to limit them as much as possible. So it just sounds odd. I do want to see him in the company for years to come. I don't know if I want to see him wrestle. Let's see what they're doing, though. Hopefully they're smart about it.
Yeah, let's hope it's good. Listen, guys, Raw was a nightmare tonight. Just a fucking horrible nightmare. I hope everybody.
Riker making his re-debut. Keith's match. I like the idea of Keith flipping the coin. Like that isn't a bad thing. Some people weren't about it. It wasn't delivered great, but it was so far removed from his usual Mr. Gentleman type interactions that I was okay with it.
What was the point in that? I didn't understand.
It was that no matter what, I'm going to whip your ass. Like that was supposed to be that's how I took it. Like heads or tails, they already called it. It didn't matter. No matter what, he was going to face them. So I took it more of kind of like a tough guy thing. But then he lost. He got pinned by both men. So it doesn't matter. They said it was a lucky win, but it wasn't. It's more bullshit for Keith Lee. So you hear they're pushing him and they want to do things and they send him back for.
I think it's the opposite
training.
now. Now I'm starting to think like they're like, go ahead, do what you wanted to do. All right. Like, and then he gets pinned.
Yeah, he loses.
So he's got this new attitude sounding thing, and then he flips a coin or whatever, and then he loses. So the Salutations version of him was doing all right. Yeah. But the fucking, let me tell you something, I'm going to flip this coin. You lose.
More normal, real person version is getting beat.
But it's a 2-on-1, and you should lose every 2-on-1, but we get it.
But he's supposed to be this monster, this big man that can, dispel the heels off with no problem because he's got such strength. That's what originally they were trying to tell with him. So it's just all ass backwards booking. Same thing with Ricochet losing tonight to Mace. He goes over on top the week before, even though it's Dana Brooke, but still they've been victorious, and now he's getting beat again, and then they beat him down afterwards. What's the point? Retribution just gets more and more awful as time passes. There's no reason to have them on TV. Split them up and be done with it. Take their masks off, let them be themselves, and just be done with it. It failed. Honestly, though, I think the only match that I kind of enjoyed, because I was like, oh, Riddle and MVP, this might be different. This might be decent. It was over in 45 seconds. What a joke. They could have had something at least a little competitive and entertaining there, because I do like the way that Riddle competes in the ring. I'm not crazy about his character by any means, but I like his wrestling ability. And damn, that's what we get. Less than a minute. So I give this night a 2, honestly.
Yeah.
They made me even more nervous for this pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. At least at first I was like, well, some things should be decent. Now I'm guaranteeing they're going to screw everything up on the Raw side.
Yeah, I think it's all just Raw is no hope. There's no hope.
They're more focused on putting up a video of Lana being stretchered out, to the ambulance and crying than they are about, your champion being out there to save his friend and being the focal point of your main event match.
The only thing good is Roman. It's the only thing good on the whole fucking program at all. Roman.
And even that, like I said, I'm concerned with because of long-term booking now with Goldberg getting involved and.
But that's no different. It's so funny because it's no different. Last 6 years, all they care about is Roman. But before he was terrible. So all they cared about was Roman, and he was terrible. But other things were decent sometimes. But all they cared about was Roman, but he was terrible. Now, all they seemingly care about again is Roman, but he's awesome, but everything else sucks. It's very strange.
Right? We've said it so many times, certain people are being mishandled. We've said for years now, that Roman, we've picked out specific promos for him in NXT when he had the watch on and the suit, and we're like, if they take that and they tailor the entire gimmick to him, they get rid of the vest, they give him the heel manager, they make him very driven and motivated, lean on the family stuff, go ahead, be a strong heel. That would be great. That would sell. That would work. They finally, after all this time, they do it with him, and it's working gangbusters. Pretty much everybody's enjoyed it. It's been the highlight for everything with WWE for the most part. we've known, you know, so if you look at how they've mishandled so many other teams and wrestlers and female competitors, my God, we can have a full division of characters that would be the best thing ever. And we don't get it. And I don't know why they can't see what they're doing.
Yeah, and maybe some of the answer is that some of these people just suck. You know, I get it, but it's like there's too much of a track record. There's too many people sucking. There's got to be someone or somewhere that like somebody would catch fire or somebody would do something right. Just like AEW. Every time in AEW something comes up. You
Look
know
at how AJ was 3 years ago compared to now even.
Well, once this is all you're done because this is all AJ's fault. Once AJ said, "Can you get the world title off of me? I don't want to take it easy. Like this is a
he
little."
didn't want the extra responsibility.
Yeah, the minute he said that, you went, "Oh, there goes that. Well, that guy's done." You know, because and I don't mean that they're going to bury him, but I mean they're just going to be like, they're always going to use him in these sort of mid-cardy roles, like he does these things, because he was. If AJ Styles had said, "I want to be the guy. I am the guy. I'm never going to stop being the guy. WWE, here I am. Let's go." If AJ Styles had been like that, you would have seen other people get more competitive. You would have seen him hold the title longer. And you would have seen AJ Styles be sort of touted as the guy in the company, one of the guys. Like, he is the guy. But because AJ Styles said, "This is great, but I want to take time off and stuff like that. I don't want to travel like this anymore. Can you get the belt off me?" The minute that happened, it went from AJ Styles, a guy that could possibly be one of the biggest wrestlers of the last 10 years in the WWE, be like the next guy, into sort of AJ Styles, Mr. Perfect or whatever. You know, like he's not. I'm trying to think of an example of somebody, and I don't know of it. I don't know of the example, the comparison. I'm trying to think of a comparison. Like, I thought maybe Macho Man for a minute, like towards his later years, but he won the belt in WrestleMania 8.
Yeah, so that doesn't...
WrestleMania 9 he was commentary, and WrestleMania 10 he had the match against Crush. But he wanted to wrestle in the main events and stuff. Vince wouldn't let him, and Vince put him on commentary.
Vince held him back because he wanted to have younger wrestlers at that point.
Yeah, so that... It's just when you say, "No, I don't want to be the guy anymore." You know, so they don't revere him like that's. They try to a little bit sometimes. They go, "Wow, that guy just pinned AJ Styles," and then they like rebuild, like pretend like build up AJ Styles. But if AJ Styles hadn't have, decided to get rid of the belt, he wouldn't have continued to be as goofy as he is. He would have been more serious. He would have had more title reign. He would be in more main events. And, but that's okay because this is what he wanted. So what are you going to do? But again, there's another example of there's the guy that could be the guy, and even he doesn't want to be the guy. So you just can't find the fucking guy. I guess Drew McIntyre does want to be the guy. And he's
done a good job during the pandemic trying to keep things afloat.
I like the entrance too, the cartoony swordsman He-Man entrance. I mean, I
wish that was a one-off just for that one night to make it feel special, but
or pay-per-views only on title defenses.
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, it's a little much coming down to talk to someone on Raw, right? Because he did that tonight? He came out to talk, and to come out to talk, he came out in the kilt and shoved the sword down.
Yeah, when they were hanging the belt at the end.
That's a little weird. I mean, I could have done without that. Keep it special on TLC. But okay.
Yeah, just have him do it the entrance for pay-per-views. That's fine. But they don't do that. And I don't know. All the beat down at the end and trying to build up heat now, even though you haven't really done much to make, Styles feel like he's really a threat to McIntyre's title reign. All of it is just, it feels like a waste. That's really what it does. It feels like just an entire waste. You wasted your time. There's nothing enjoyable It deserves a 2 all day.
Raw gets a 2 out of 10. We're going into TLC. TLC predictions coming up on Out of Nowhere Thursday night. Tomorrow night is Throwdown. Then Wednesday night is AEW Review. And that's about it. We're done. Raw sucks. Sorry. It just did. Hit that like button down below. Think about joining the Patreon. And I'm going to go pass the fuck out now. It's a long day. And see you guys on Twitter, maybe. I'll be on Twitter. Maybe. Or Patreon, one of the two. Jake is at Countdown Ended on Twitter. Look at his face. And I am
a
at
little bit of the
JCS
bubbly.
Commentary.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Absolute trash.
Absolute fucking trash.
Call your mother, call your father, and tell them
Leah's pussy needs a cleaning out.
Was that Jake?
I said Lewis had to get the last word.
Well, you know. I write Raw with Vince.
Again.
And it's just like when I wrote it the last time when they took the bubblers. You know what's funny is he's the one on his podcast that said that so many times that made me think about that. They took the water bubblers.
Yeah.
Like I remember
was the one that
I remember
overstated that.
It was a question that someone asked Connor. They said, that it was a rumor that they took the water fountains. That's how bad it was at WWE headquarters. And then they were like, is that true or whatever? And Bruce Pritchard, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was true. They're trying to save money. We tried to save money. We cut the deal with the water place. And I was like, what the fuck? You were there, Bruce. It's like, dude, Bruce Pritchard was there in the 90s. He wrote almost everything that's like awful.
Yeah, all the stuff that went and took away from the company that was too childish.
WrestleMania 9 was him and Vince.
About all multiple doinks and crap like that, and the stuff that flopped harder than.
I can't think of a better example, Jake, than WrestleMania 9. There was only a few times where only Vince and Bruce wrote everything. And WrestleMania 9 was one of those times.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
And here's Tatanka.
Yeah, so I just signed a contract with AU and am going to take out Sting.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going tomahawk him and shove my bow and arrow up his pee hole.
Oh my God.
Native American rules.
Wow. I can't believe this. He's here.
After you shall receive.
He's here. It's almost unbelievable that here at WrestleMania, Tatanka has returned to take on Bruce Pritchard for the way he booked Shawn Michaels and Tatanka at WrestleMania 9. The best match of the night ruined.
Oh, that was so bad.
The best match of the night ruined by a countout. Why did they do that?
Yeah, obviously everyone knows the Hogan Yokozuna stuff to end the night, but was there really a good match on that show?
Yeah, Shawn Michaels and Tatanka. That was the best match of the night.
I just hate the ending so much that it ruined the match for me. But
it's such a good match. That. It's such a dude. This match was
a really good match. It just
the match was building. Dude, I hate it too. But the match was building.
And such a long match too to build towards that, and then you have a freaking
exactly. It was. I don't know how long the match was, but it's got to be 15 to 20 minutes. It was somewhere in there, or maybe
I was thinking like 20 minutes myself.
Maybe 15 or 16. But
it
felt long. It felt like a long match, and it was building and building, and Sherry was out there, and Luna Vachon was out there, and what are they going to do? And then
18-13.
It's a count out, 18-13. Yep, see, there we go. Somewhere in that 15 to 20 minute mark, you feel it. You knew it was that long.
And I didn't care the tag match after the Steiner brothers and the Head Shrinkers?
That one had a lot of botches, but it was kind of entertaining because it had a lot of, like, it was wild. It was a wild match. That was also one of the better matches. But really, what the thing about the show was the entrances was all the fun. The fun was Hulk Hogan coming out with the tag team titles on the line. That didn't happen. The fun was The Undertaker coming out. The fun was Hulk Hogan at the end, end up winning and then celebrating or whatever. There was no...
The matches certainly weren't. You didn't want to see,
Bob Backlund versus Razor Ramon?
Yeah, no. And then you didn't want to see The Undertaker lose to Giant Gonzalez, even though he won via DQ. But, I mean, as a kid, I was like, oh, so he loses? That's it? And it's like, well, no, he won. But it still felt, just like such highway robbery.
Yeah, they really...
Like out the bottle of chloroform,
They should have just had The Undertaker just destroy him and just win.
I would have preferred that. I mean, and then everything that happened with Brett was, ugh. And then, that was with Doink and Crush as well. So.
We always go back to this because, again, it's important to remember, this is the guy right now writing with Vince. And remember, if you want to say Bruce Pritchard was good but what about the 2000s? Bruce Pritchard was good. Well, not really, because Vince Russo, Jim Cornette, and Paul Heyman were the ones that were really killing it. Now, I think Bruce Pritchard is creative, and I think Bruce Pritchard is good. I think Bruce Pritchard is great as the third, fourth, or fifth man in with comedy ideas. I think when Bruce Pritchard is at a table with Cornette, Vince, and maybe a guy or two, and Pritchard is there, and Pritchard says, what would be funny if we did this and that, I think he works great at that point. But when you get only Bruce Pritchard and Vince together, it's all like poopy, potty, push him in the pool, like, oh my God, like doink clown, silly, like weird humor from like the Three Stooges, which is fine, but it's only those two guys. And that's why WrestleMania 9 is Chloroform the Undertaker, double doinks show up, countouts, head shrinkers trying to eat somebody or whatever outside the ring. Fucking Bastion Booger in the opening match that wasn't shown on the air. Nobody saw it. Salt in the eyes of Bret Hart. And then Hogan comes out. And then Bret Hart just says, go get him. And then Yokozuna says, I'll just put the belt on the line right now for some weird reason. And you get Mr. Perfect hitting the head with an elbow that has a steel plate in it.
Don't forget my WrestleMania 9 match, damn it.
I know,
the music.
I almost did, Lex Luger. I just got it literally just now, right as you donated.
With Mr. Perfect, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, Lex Luger got hit Mr. Perfect with an elbow that has a steel plate in it that took out Mr. Perfect. And then Shawn Michaels got in a fight with him.
Everything ended in fucking.
Everything was fuckery. WrestleMania 9 is a big butt fuck.
And you look at the difference, even just the next year. So
yeah,
Cornette started writing, and then him and Russo hated each other, obviously. But Russo had that crash format where he threw everything at the wall, but it was exciting for what he did. And he went to WCW, and obviously, things changed for WWE.
By the way, guess who wasn't at WrestleMania 8? Guess who didn't write WrestleMania 8? He had a hand in it and started it, but guess who wasn't at WrestleMania 8? Bruce Pritchard.
Dun dun.
And guess who showed up and started working with Vince and Bruce around WrestleMania 10? Jim Cornette.
Yep. Because then he was with the Heavenly Bodies and
then WrestleMania 11.
Right? Was that 10 or 11? Where Cornette?
No, it was Heavenly Bodies might have been 10 or 11?
Yeah, that was okay. It was 10 here. All right.
No, 10 he was with Yokozuna and
yeah, that's true too. I just remember him being in the beginning.
Yeah, but either way, like WrestleMania's 9, 10, and 11 were questionable. WWE really started getting better again a little bit around WrestleMania 12. But then 12, 13 was like a mix of like you were still in the old WWF with a little bit of that new flavor coming in with Austin and Stone Cold, and the badassery stuff was starting to happen. So that's when things really changed. And then you got into Vince Russo starts taking over. with Jim Cornette, Vince Russo, Vince McMahon, and then Bruce Pritchard. Vince,
because even next year, a lot of special guest referees still, and
look at the writers. Look at the writers. We're fucking go right through it. Go look at the writers and listen. I like Bruce Pritchard, but I don't like him as the writer with Vince. That's never good. It's never been good.
Yeah, like you said. DQ,
did you mean the Body Donnas? No,
DQ,
that was Sonny. Sonny
count
was
out, DQ. Yeah, there was a lot of DQs in 10. I would take 10 over 9, 10, and 11. You know, out of those three, I would probably go with 10 myself.
9, 10, and 11. Yeah, I would take 10 because
I really like, obviously, Razor and Sean stands out.
And then Owen and Brett at the beginning of the night was really good.
Yeah, that's a great opener. So,
and they didn't even have Hogan. It's amazing. It's evident that they don't have that mega power guy, and that Brett feels like the new guy. But he feels like the new guy. Like, it doesn't feel like Hogan quite. It feels exciting and it feels fun, but it feels like that new generation feel, which is sort of what they proclaimed it as. But Hogan wasn't there. And Macho Man had his little match with Crush, which was, you would have thought that Macho Man would have been leading that thing, or that it would have been, Macho Man versus Bret Hart, or Macho Man versus Owen. You would have thought you would have mixed that in, and really had Macho Man. But instead, I guess Macho Man was trying to help put over the new talent Crush. But then again, Macho Man wins the match by outsmarting the guy. It didn't feel like really Crush got helped.
Yeah.
And that was the last time we saw Crush until he became the biker gang guy. And then he could have just been generic wrestler guy number 6.
Yeah.
But wonder whatever happened with Crush after that, actually. I think he went back to WCW, but I don't remember after that even.
Brian Adams.
Yes, Brian Adams, that's right.
That was his name. So, yeah, Kona Crush, the American Ninja, the Demon, the Midnight Soldier.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of here. We got to get out of here. What are we doing?
We're talking about Crush.
We do got to do retro reviews, though, yeah.
Absolutely. They're always fun to go back and...
We got to bring them back, because we could talk about that shit. That's way more interesting than what's going on now.
That's why remembering WrestleMania stands out.
Yeah, this is terrible. Good Lord, end me. See you guys tomorrow unless the ulcers bleed. Good night. Gotta wake up early and look for that PS5.
Santa's got to hunt for those PlayStations.
I'm like, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, PlayStation 5. I'm like, what else do you want?
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
That's it. Bubbly? Look at this stuff.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
WrestleMania 11 was the worst. I lost to a football player, person face palming.
I know, Bam Bam Bigelow, I'm sorry. Well, WrestleMania 11 is one of the worst WrestleManias, if not the worst WrestleMania of all time. It's close. There's actually a recent one I think is worse. But it's close. It's top 3 worst of all time. And unfortunately on the WWE Network, they edited the fuck out of it. But if you have the original WrestleMania 11 tape from the broadcast, and even the original VHS tape, they didn't edit that much. But the original broadcast, oh my God, it's just fucking audio problems left and right. Dude, that they couldn't get the audio right several times. Nicholas Turturro's mic wasn't working. They went to an interview with Diesel and his mic wasn't working. They came back again.
It was just a mess.
Oh God, the whole thing. They had this new setup with the announcers being like reporters with like headsets and little tiny microphones, and that didn't work. Finally, they had to go to Jim Ross because they were supposed to go to someone else. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The original... If you can find the original broadcast of WrestleMania 11, and what's weird is the reason why it sticks out so much is because of how well they did every other year. WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, no problems.
Yeah, they were known for their production value even at that point.
They even did a really good job at WrestleMania 2 when they had to broadcast all these different locations.
Yeah, from three different places.
But somehow WrestleMania 11 is a fucking bumblefuck. So it's like, and they were in Stamford or in Connecticut.
Yeah, they're in Connecticut for that one. I was excited because it was here and it was awful.
I mean,
I think it was WrestleMania 32 that was the really bad one.
Yeah, there was one that I was like, this might be worse.
I remember that one because that was the one with Triple H and Roman as the main event.
And I remember one of the things someone said was, "You're right, that might be it. That might be it, Jake." And if it is it, that's the one where my sign was in the crowd, by the way. My sign was in the crowd.
I thought that was 33. Yeah, you're right.
So then it's not that one.
33 was Roman and Taker, which that one was pretty bad.
Might be that
too.
one.
I think the only thing that was good with that was the Hardy return.
Yeah, that was fun.
34 ended up being good because of Ronda Rousey. Her and Kurt Angle's match ended up being a lot of fun against Triple
maybe
H
it's.
and
I think it's
Stephanie.
34. I think 34 was horrible, and that was the best thing about it was Ronda Rousey's match, which that's not good.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's 34.
And then
34.
35 Rousey headlined, and then 36 was COVID year. So
No, that was bad too. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
say 34, 34, 35?
A little
Terrible.
bit of the bubbly.
That's it. That's
Want
it.
some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Rate all the WrestleMania best to worst. 136.
No, 1 to 36. Yeah,
Kevin
we'll have
Longdick.
to do that at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We kind of did it once in a way. We talked about it, but
especially when you did the Remembering WrestleMania. But
yeah, I would go. I definitely think 35, 34, 11. I actually talk about how I don't put 9 on the list. Like if there's a bottom 5, I actually don't put 9 on the list because, and I think it's my nostalgia of I was 9 years old at the time. It was so unique. It was outside. The Hulk Hogan factor, the Shawn Michaels match at the beginning. There was something about it that I like, even though it's so retarded. But, like WrestleMania 2 and 1, they're hard to watch at this point.
yeah, a lot of nostalgia, but it's not something I can just sit there and go all the way through every time. And
Yeah, like WrestleMania 9 is easier to watch than 1 because the matches move. WrestleMania 1 is like fucking 4 hours and like it opens up with Tito Santana against, was he wrestling a masked guy, the jailbreaker or the one-man mystery or some shit like that? The fuck, anybody remember? Somebody in the chat will hit me up with something like that.
something ridiculous.
Some guy in a mask.
Terrible with names.
Fucking
Yeah, most plays. I did catch the Triple Mania event this weekend. I only watched the last 2 matches. Kenny's match, which was really good.
So weird with no crowd at Triple
I know.
Mania.
Especially Triple Mania of all things. And then I watched the hair versus hair match, which was brutal but good. But I only caught the final 2 matches. But Kenny did a great job, and I enjoyed it.
Unbelievable stuff. Probably one of the best things that I saw the night, but I only skimmed through Triple Mania and then watched the Kenny Omega match.
Yeah, it was nice of him to have it on YouTube.
The Executioner, Mario Rodriguez.
That was it.
The Executioner. Thank you.
That
Did I go the Jailbreaker or something like that? What did I say? The Executioner. He looked like a lump of shit. Jacob Prada. Thank you, Jacob. Sorry I didn't get you on the call earlier, too, man. I thought we were ending then, and I was like, yeah. 32 was so bad. Ambrose versus Brock was garbage.
The women's triple threat.
Yeah, all the 30s have been really bad, really. Most of them. Not 30, but...
And even Taker versus Shane, I don't think was great by any means. It was just serviceable, but it had a few moments that stood out, like, Shane jumping off the cage, but besides that, there wasn't like a lot to the match, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like we're gonna get a lot of, like, a good amount of return to normalcy in America, at least, coming up around probably June. So probably May or June is when we're gonna start seeing a chunk of normalcy return.
I hope so.
But in all honesty, probably not looking at almost like we're back to 85 to 90%. Probably not until 2022. Dare I say it?
Probably right. Probably take a whole nother year to get those that will or want or need to be vaccinated to do so.
Let's say SummerSlam.
See how the numbers drop.
Let's say SummerSlam is the first full capacity show. Let's just pretend.
And then who wants to go? Who's comfortable with going?
No, people. I bet you people go, but it will be people with everybody will have a mask on. I bet, or most people will have masks on. Probably. At least 2021. And I wonder when. We'll see what happens. Like you said, it's a waiting. You got to wait for data. You got to wait for all the data to happen. We've had to wait.
We don't know.
We had to wait for data forever, and look at the data we have now. Now the fucking data is spiking out of control. So yups. I don't know. We'll see what happens, man.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I just looked on Network. WrestleMania 1 was shortest mania. 35 was longest. At 34 the table threat with Seth versus Balor versus Miz was good, I thought. Then Asuka Charlotte was also.
Well, then I
didn't like Asuka Charlotte, especially with Asuka losing and they did it weird, but 34 is triple threat. Yeah, because that opened the night with Seth, Miz, and Finn Balor. I like that match. That was good.
Maybe I'm thinking of WrestleMania 2 then. I always feel like WrestleMania 1, 2, and 3 were like super long.
If they feel that way. I know they definitely feel longer than they actually are.
I feel like there was a lot of matches at 1, but maybe I'm crazy. I guess I'm crazy.
I have the same mindset too. It feels like it's a long show.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph Ross has a good point, man. I mean, the problem is, though, everybody's saying everybody's getting reinfected.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Fuck the women in chat.
Damn. I love toes. Holy shit, I love toes.
Getting real sexy. See, he's not saying fuck the women like get them out of here. He's saying fuck the women. Like lay it down. Get sexual.
Now, I think, if we get herd immunity, and then on top of that, everybody gets vaccinated, or a lot of people get vaccinated, hopefully then the numbers are really low. We'll hear about this forever, though. We'll hear about this for the next 5 to 10 years, probably. Like in a few years, they'll be like, they're going to be scaring you for years. Like, so if it dwindles down, they'll be in 3 years, they'll be like, Tri-County something has 2 cases of COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. Remember to get vaccinated. Remember, you know what they do with flu shots now? Where they're like, get your flu shot. Remember to get your flu shot. It's going to be all, get the COVID. Make sure you have your COVID. You have to have your COVID up to date. Or whatever. So you're never not going to hear about this again for a while. People will remember this for. This is people's September 11th. For anybody who's younger, this is their September 11th. And we always heard about this is our Pearl Harbor when September 11th happened. Yeah. So this is
that new event that ties people together.
Yeah, although this event didn't quite tie us together like.
No, but it's something everybody can remember forever. You'll remember, the pandemic.
I'll never forget. I was in 3rd grade.
A little bit of the bubbly. Want some bubbly? A little bit of the bubbly.
Best WrestleMania 19 is that card is stacked.
Yeah, I think it was pretty stacked. It was a big, full WrestleMania. Wasn't that William Regal and Jericho began the night? I think that was.
I'm terrible at just thinking back with like numbers. I have to look at the card to really remember. I do that with my terrible memory anyways, but I think that was.
Oh, then maybe that was Mysterio that began the night. And that was Shawn Michaels. No, it was Shawn Michaels Jericho.
On 19?
Yeah, right? Shawn Michaels Jericho.
And
Rey Mysterio, and that was in San Diego, I think. But that was a good one.
What else
we
got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Vince McMahon with the bloody face coming up from under the ring.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
No Way Out 2003. The best PPV of all time.
Yeah, it was damn good. All right, we're really leaving this time. We got to get out of here. I do appreciate all the $3 donos coming in, though. That's pretty cool. Luckily, if we do end up finding the PlayStation, which I doubt we will, my mother's paying for it, so.
That'd be awesome if you could find it. I was looking
Shout
for
out
you
to
over
Mom.
the weekend, and
shout out to Mommy.
No luck.
Yeah, no one's.
Yeah, Jericho and Regal was 17. Mario
a little
Rodriguez
bit of the
was
bubbly.
That's it.
19
Want
was
some bubbly?
Matt Hardy and
Look at
Rey
this stuff.
Mysterio.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Can you dance like me, Joe?
Not really. You did some kind of thing, like weird thing where you did with the back of your head or something. Step. I don't remember though. Alex Wright. Something like that, Alex Wright. Alex Wright was fire for a little while, man, in WCW. He was fire. Yeah, who was the opener again?
For that one, it was Matt Hardy and Rey Mysterio.
Right. So,
The
yeah, it was
Cruiserweight
Mysterio,
title.
yeah.
Yeah, you said that after.
Yeah.
And that had The Undertaker taking on Big Show and A-Train because Nathan Jones, they felt, wasn't...
A little bit of the bubbly. Want some bubbly? A little bit of the bubbly. Bubbly.
Austin last mast.
Thank you, Red Comment Man. Last Mass.
Mhm.
No, I don't think... Yeah, Undertaker's
His
match
last
was
match,
terrible.
yeah, 'cause The Rock beat Stone Cold.
Finally, the third match.
Mhm.
It was a pretty good match.
And Hogan, you know, they had him beat the old evil boss, Mr. McMahon. I forgot about that one. The good old Hawk Hogan.
Just the way McMahon played that whole thing was crazy. It's actually... Honestly, that actually might be Vince McMahon's best match.
With the retirement angle, too. I liked it being in that match because I thought, all right, now it makes sense because they could really have Hogan retire here. And I thought Vince actually had a shot in this match going into it.
The fake dislikes are already disappearing, yeah.
Yeah, they trickle away.
Isn't it sad, man, that people actually pay for whatever to get disliked? It's weird. Vince McMahon, yeah, I think, guys, that may have been Vince McMahon's best match. Now, I know him and HBK was fun, if I remember, but if I remember, it was really HBK just kind of beating the shit out of him. But the way he sold and the story and the camera shots and the blood and everything at WrestleMania 19 with Hogan and Piper and them coming in at the end a little bit and the weird shit. Wasn't that the one too where he was stretchered away and he gave the finger? I think that was that one too.
I think so.
I mean, dude, we should all go watch that match tonight because it's pretty fucking funny. I'm telling you guys.
I do like that one.
Go watch WrestleMania 19 tonight.
Would be the St. Valentine's Day Massacre cage match that he had. Because
yeah,
he put his body through hell for that match.
That was his first
Big Show.
Wasn't that his first match? That was the first match I ever think I saw Vince in. I mean,
he was in the Rumble before that.
No, I don't think so.
He was in the Rumble that year. Didn't he win the Rumble?
He won the Rumble, but St. Valentine's Day Massacre was before that.
No, that was after the Rumble. Because that was the stipulation. I thought I could be way off here because my brain sucks, but I thought that Austin was fighting for the chance to go to Mania with the cage match. I might be crazy, but
it was February 19. It was no, that's
after the Rumble. I could swear.
It was February 1999. So yeah, it was right after the Rumble.
Yeah, because the whole thing was Austin, you know, they didn't even enter the cage, and then Vince got knocked off the side and put through the announce table.
Well, Vince won because he...
No, Vince lost that one because Big Show was Paul White at that time. He came through the ring and he threw him through
Vince through the cage.
And the cage broke and Austin fell outside
Austin
the cage.
fell out and won because, whoever won was like accidental because Big Show.
Yeah, so that's why, because Vince was so confident that Austin wouldn't be winning. And that was his, his basically his plan. And unfortunately, Paul White messed up and chucked him out of the cage.
Which is weird because it was the introduction to Paul White.
Yeah.
But it was like, but the introduction is that he fucks up. You know what I mean? It was kind of weird. It was like,
I thought that was intentional though, with a WCW guy, messing it up. Like that's how I took it.
That's funny. Remember, I remember Michael Cole's
flipping him off and just luring Austin back into the cage and getting his ass kicked the whole time, and then Austin, gets low.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, it was good, but like I feel like it was a lot of throwing him into the cage, but it was really good. But I mean, we'd have to watch them and compare them and whatever. It definitely was like if you brought up like what's Vince McMahon's most memorable matches, that is one of the like the immediate thought is the black cage. For the first time seeing the black cage, you know, Vince going off it and breaking his fucking hip, like, just like all that shit. Like it's. Yeah. Did Vince go off the cage that night?
Yeah, he went off the cage and onto the announce table.
Yeah, through the announce table.
So I said he killed himself. He
and
destroyed.
That was.
And him just with Austin looking back and he's giving him the finger on his knees, all bleeding and broken. Like I love that so much.
It's definitely that, the Hogan match.
The Hogan match was really
good. The Shawn
good.
Michaels match at WrestleMania 22.
I'll give you this. The Hogan match is more of a match. That's more of I mean, it's still hardcore, obviously, between the two, but that's more of a match. As where the cage match at St. Valentine's, he really just got his ass beat. He wasn't getting offense in. But it was all
that's about Vince.
Austin, so.
And you know that's kind of what went down a little bit with Hogan too. But he got that pipe though. He got that lead pipe and so
equalizer.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, I remember though that Michael Cole, his voice turned into a female as he yelled, "That's Paul White!" Like in his like voice, just Michael Cole. And I remember I hated Michael Cole. Like I thought he was just terrible.
Yeah, I kept complaining because I know some people didn't like Cornette's voice, but I did like him announcing. Like that's one of the reasons I really liked the first episode of SmackDown that they had, because Cornette was doing commentary on that, and I was so pissed that they were bringing in Michael Cole more at that time and not using Cornette as much.
Yeah, Cornette was good in the Lawler like role. You know, he always feels real on commentary. And I like how Michael Cole says, "That's Paul White," like anybody knows that name.
Yeah.
It always made me think, like, what is he talking about?
Reminds me of AEW. That's the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah, that's the Butcher and the Blade. Like, we don't, who the fuck is that? And I screamed in my room, like, it's the Giant. Yeah. And by the way, I said the Giant. I knew it was the Giant because this had leaked out. It had leaked out all over the dirt sheets.
Oh, really?
And it was when we read the rumors. The rumor read something like, I wonder if we could find it, if it's still online. The rumor read something like, rumored that the Giant from WCW will be at St. Valentine's Day Massacre and attack Stone Cold. And I remember reading that. And I was like, what? And there was only a couple times I spoiled myself during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And I believe that was one of those times. I'm pretty sure that rumor got out there and we had read that. Now, anybody who's 33 or 34 or older in the chat may remember that if you were into stuff like that then. But it was 1999, and I swear to God I spoiled it for myself.
I just went back to a few weeks ago. They had on the wrestling subreddit, they showed somebody's Angel Fire website that had like weekly blog updates of reviews of Raw, SmackDown, things like that. And it was like from 97 to like 2000 and how they would update the site less and less. But it was funny to read like at that time, and people would reply to their boards, and I wonder if you could find those old sites. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, we've done it before. We found one of the ones.
I think you found some of your old stuff on your end too, but
one of the ones we found was a Shawn Michaels fans site.
Super chat,
and that was Angel Fire.
DX versus McMahon in Hell in the Cell.
DX versus McMahon in Hell in the Cell. I don't remember it well. I remember it, but I don't remember how good it was. I'll take your word for it.
That was, I know it was Unforgiven, but I'm trying to find the year. 2006, I think it is. Yeah, looks like it's 2006. Yep. Undertaker, yeah, all that stuff. So Unforgiven 2006, DX versus the McMahons and Big Show.
Yeah, it's hard to find No Mercy Cheats. Is there a way to find like an old site like that? I know that a lot of them, unfortunately, were like Angel Fire, GeoCities. What's other ones? Like Netscape something probably, or Bell, AOL.com.
Vince does take a heck of a sledgehammer hit at the end of that match. That's for sure. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a sweet chin music into the sludge hit. He reacts. He gets super kicked. And he gets up slowly and he gets hit with the sledgehammer. And it just, the way he sells with the pathetic face of "No, don't hit me." It's a great sell job. He just breaks the sledgehammer right crack over Vince's neck and shoulders for the pin.
Well,
oh, they shoved Vince's head up Big Show's ass as well. Jimmy says that's funny.
That's funny. I couldn't find it, but now we're really leaving. Love you all. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. I had fun.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay, Drew.
What the fuck happened to my radio show?
Good night, everybody.